Hello, everybody. Welcome to Not Just Any RPG. We are back streaming Masks of Nyarlathotep. Um, sorry, this is on a different night for those of you who maybe missed it or listened to the recording or something. I got back from a trip today, so rather than going on a 2 week hiatus, we took a week off and we're back now. So starting with this, Amelia, we have Amelia, played by Emma D. Arthur, played by Gabriel. Oh, there's no Emma N anymore for right now, so I guess I don't have to say Emma D anymore. But Justin playing Princeton, Anthony playing Sam, Starwood, Luke playing Sir Harold Godfrey, and Ares playing Ares. But you cannot really see him right now. So you can barely see him. He's there. We also would like to thank Syrinscape for the sounds, the music that you'll be hearing. Please check them out if you're going to be running a campaign of your own in Masks or out of Masks or even in a different system. And we'd also like to thank Milo Paulus for the theme song you just heard. So yeah, with that, I believe we have a recap from Sam Starwood for 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, I made this very detailed to help everyone remember what happened. So, dear Walbert McFluffles, my diary. A lot of things have happened in the past couple of days. Firstly, we investigated the Blue Pyramid Club to see if we could find any clues on the Egyptian murders. While we didn't learn anything about the Egyptian murders, we did find several other things. We met a Scottish person named Arthur. Apparently there's an entire country north of England that is overrun with pirates. Honestly, a terrifying fact to learn. Also at the Blue Pyramid, while I was enthralled by some belly dancers, Amelia asked extremely suspicious questions to the manager. A waitress named Zara then came up to us and told us to meet her at midnight outside. We then got ambushed by some cultists and several of us got hurt. The next day we decided to pay another visit to the Pinhue Foundation, and thankfully didn't have to wait several hours to talk to Gavigan. We once again toured the exhibit on the upstairs, however I got bored and explored the rest of the building. I found a library and eventually found a storage closet. Jack somehow picked the lock, and we made our way inside. Eventually, we made it into a room that seemed to contain several artifacts from other expeditions. We found a lot of money, 2 silver daggers, an Egyptian scroll, a weird gray powder, some books, and some new clues. The most relevant clue we found was a suspicious receipt from Henson Manufacturing in Derby, England, along with a business card for Empire Spices. We left our packs full of many things. Later that day, I went to London University to have them examine the green vial I found in Chipley's house. I need to go there soon to get the vial back from them. While I did that, a weird fog rolled in and somehow attacked the rest of the group. After meeting back together, we strengthened our resolve and determined that we would investigate the shop called Empire Spices, as it was mentioned by both Sarah and a business card from the Pinhue Foundation. We all agreed to let Arthur go in first and try to gather information. Instead, he immediately was
He was immediately Hold on,
by
sorry.
going to his estate.
Sorry, you cut out at recognized. It was you froze.
When was that?
You said he immediately recognized, or he was immediately recognized.
Yeah. So he was immediately recognized by the shop owner, who turned the tables and began to threaten us. After much bargaining, he agreed to help the owner kill Gavigan by going to his estate during either the Lesser Rites, which happens every couple weeks, or the Grand Rites on the new moon. He and a bunch of cultists go to Gavigan's estate in Essex, called the Miser House, where they perform a ritual of some kind. We need to go there and kill Gavigan so the shop owner can take full control of the cult. If we don't, she will kill us. Finally, I must reflect on what we should do next. Princeton seems to have gone a bit crazy, so I wonder if trying to fix his face would improve his mental state. I may try a more advanced surgery on him using a book I found called The Correction of Featural Imperfections by Charles Miller. I think a facelift and some nose restructuring do him a lot of good, in addition to going to an expensive spa. Other than that, I think we need to follow up on some clues outside of London, such as the Lesser Edale murders and the Henson manufacturing clue. I also have an idea about some dynamite that sounds interesting.
Okay. So real quick, remind, because this was 2 weeks ago now. When we cut away, was the argument winding down about whether or not you should go and kill, or whether or not you should actually kill Gavigan, or did we kind of like cut away more?
I think we were in agreement that we should do it.
You were not in agreement. Gavin was very much on the fence, and Amelia was not in agreement at all.
Failed that pop quiz.
All right. Well, we'll say it started to wind down, and gosh, what kind of time of day was it? This is
evening.
the kind of thing. It was evening anyway. All right, perfect.
Yes.
It was winding down. You guys all went back to your rooms, went to sleep, and the next morning, when you meet back up at Sir Godfrey's estate, Sir Godfrey and one Professor Philips are there waiting for you.
Howdy. Hey, who's this guy?
Tidings.
Hi. Hey, by the way, your house is really nice. The roof is great. I've never been under a roof that big before. I really like the roof.
Yeah, there is some height to it.
Sir Godfrey's estate must be nice then.
It was very
We'll
nice.
have to take you all one day.
The way that the sun just hits her eyes, I could not take my eyes off of that.
But before, sorry, Percy comes out, the butler, whatever you want to call him. He comes out and, excuse me, sir, before you all get started for the day, I believe, what was his name? Your associate Jack stopped by early this morning. He said he had some business to attend to, that he would not be able to meet up with you all for today. So he kind of nods and
I nod.
backs out of
Good.
the room.
Jack! Yeah! Jack! That guy. Indeed.
I hope the business he's attending to is that giant wound he has.
I don't think he's gonna get that fixed.
Amelia, you may be muted, possibly.
I said I hope that he's going to a doctor.
He's not.
But anyway, that's Arthur. He's our new friend, I guess.
Wait, what?
I guess.
When did you get here? What?
Been here for a little bit.
What?
He's a little special. He has like a speech impediment thing that makes him sound like a pirate.
Listen to this
No,
guy.
he's from Scotland, Sam.
I grab his face, and I tug on his cheeks. Are you
Why?
real?
Do you allow that to happen,
Arthur.
Arthur?
I start rubbing his eyebrows.
Do you allow any of this to happen? You can stop it at any time.
I I
consent.
kind of just stick my hand out and just like hold him back, like a dog.
It's like what you do like a child.
He's real,
Exactly.
guys.
Well, of course I'm real.
He sounds like an ogre.
I'm gonna put my hand on Princeton's shoulder, push her back a little bit, and then reach out to handshake Mr. Arthur here. Ignore
Very nice
ignore
to meet
Professor
ya.
Phillips.
Nice
He's
to meet
even
ya.
yeah, nice to meet you too. He's more insane than usual recently.
I can see.
Get a load of that sunlight outside. No, wait, it's night.
No,
No,
it's
it's
morning.
morning.
It's morning.
Yeah.
Oh, when did we tell me that? Okay,
He said.
I'm just gonna go to the
Listen.
kitchen
I
now.
listen. I can't tell if he actually didn't know or if he's playing up the insanity. So I think it works. Either way.
But anyway,
So what happened? Well, I was gone.
so I explain everything. The long thing I explained in the recap.
Yeah, the recap was basically what you said to him in
Yeah.
this moment.
My first name's not Walter.
But so I have an idea. Let's just delay deciding whether or not we should kill Gavigan until we're at the event.
Well, I feel like if we're gonna do that, we better come up with a plan to at least eliminate him.
Yeah.
Eliminate.
I feel like we
Why-
don't want to
why-
be
why-
associated
why-
with the
Earth.
murder.
How about
We-
disappear sounds way more pleasant than eliminate. Let's make him.
Okay,
Yeah.
but do we want him to suffer?
No.
What
Like, we're
the
not
hell
monsters.
is happening?
I'm gonna vacate from the room. I'm not part of this. Whatever this is, I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Percy looks at you. He's like, what's happening in there, sir? Do you need?
No,
to bring
don't
anything in?" Okay.
No, close the door. Don't go in.
Okay.
Can I follow after Godfrey? Godfrey, would you let me follow you? Because I don't want to be.
Please, Mrs. Greenwald, please.
Let's
Well,
remove
yeah,
all the
those
sane
cowards.
voices from the room.
This isn't a gentleman and gentle lady woman's conversation.
Anyway, we should just. It's like a couple weeks from now that we'll have to decide, so we can delay.
All right.
We'll just wing it.
No, we're not gonna wing it.
Says the
We're
voice
not-
in your head. I forgot I don't have Reginald to say whatever I want whenever I want
Yeah, Percy.
anymore. Yeah.
But
could.
let's go back and talk with them about what we want to do in the next few days.
Would you like me to invite the butler to be part of this plan?
So I can.
The father actually did it this time.
Are we making him our fall guy?
I don't think Percy gets paid enough for this.
He definitely does. But he's not helping you guys.
Okay. All right. Well,
His
I've
boss
never-
forbade it.
I've never committed a legal crime before, so this is new territory for me.
We're not
It's
illegal
still not
crimes.
legal.
It's not. Why are we
No.
talking
Well.
about this?
It really depends on your definition.
See, I thought Godfrey's accent was incomprehensible.
Ooh. Princeton, you might want to apologize for that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not used to pirate speak.
Like, I can understand it perfectly, it just weirds me out.
Yeah,
Well, that's because you think I'm a pirate.
you're not.
Majority of pirates are British.
They are?
Well, aren't you British?
Scottish.
I thought you were American. Just from the South.
Anyway, let's move on to more important things. So, I'm thinking, and like I open the door so y'all can like walk in and hear this. We should go outside of London to investigate the monster in Lesser Edales.
Okay. I am down for that. I need to get some monster hunting in my diet.
Are you sure
Um,
it's safe?
Did I ask?
Oh.
I mean, we got Godfrey over here. I think he can help us.
Am I even in the room?
Yeah. Do you open up the door for us?
Okay.
He basically like invited you guys back in, being like, we're not talking about murder anymore.
Gotcha.
We're talking about hunting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Godfrey can help us out over here. You got that
Where?
rifle?
Yeah, a giant beast hunt in good old England.
Oh,
quite
are we
exciting.
following up that one lead?
I think so. If y'all are fine with that.
Okay. I am fine with that.
Interesting. Let's go solve a murder. That's more my speed. Let's solve a murder. Let's not commit a murder.
Well, we might murder along the way.
It cancels out. You know.
Don't
Good
go
combo.
in with that. Let's have good intentions at the beginning, at least.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you
Okay,
very
Sam.
much.
So let's go.
Okay.
Well, do we wanna
Percy, bring
go-
the car around for me, please.
Wait, do we want to go right now, or do we want to like see if any of y'all needs to see a doctor today before we go?
Should I get my daily surgery?
I've been like reading up on how to do facelift surgery, a good old 1907 book.
Bit
Okay.
dated now, isn't it?
A little bit, but it's an old,
It's a-
tried and true method.
It's a classic. So, Sam, I think I trust you. Just a little bit. I think I give you full permission to pretty up my face again.
Okay. Do we want to do that today, or while
Do you do
y'all
it in the
prepare
car?
for the trip?
How about in the car?
In the car. What are we playing? Surgeon Simulator? What is this?
I need that sunlight on my face.
I'm not doing it in a car, unless
Okay.
you like want to be disfigured for life.
I don't want that.
Well, it sounds like he already is.
That's not very nice. We'll figure this out. You know,
We'll go next time we stop for like. I'm sure we'll stay the night somewhere. We'll do it then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Princeton Philips. Back again.
Okay. So, we're taking a car, Godfrey's car. Godfrey, would everyone fit in your car?
No.
How about if
I
I call
can-
shotgun?
Oh, well, I'm in the shotgun, so it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I can fit 2 people in the back, and one of them's Mrs. Greenwald.
Do I sit on anybody's lap?
No.
Okay.
I got room for one other person between the 3 of you.
Do we have another car option?
A taxi.
Well, and I guess I'll join you.
So I
Okay.
will say, Lesser Edale is 170 miles north of London. Okay.
Miles?
Yeah, it's so.
Are you sure you don't mean kilometers?
They didn't use kilometers in the 20s.
You're talking like a
They
patriot
did.
right now.
So, the closest city is Derby. If you are going to take separate means of transportation, I would recommend meeting in Derby and then getting a ride in a cart or in a taxi or something the rest of the way, so that way you can all get there together. Because
Did you say
otherwise,
a cart?
yeah, it's a Lesser
you think that
Edale.
Miss Greenwald would ride in a cart?
Lesser
Yeah.
Edale is a it's a hamlet, some might call it, a very small town. It's got a castle and a noble there, but it's well, an old noble family. They have less power now by the 20s, but nonetheless, yes, yeah, it would. You might be able to catch a cart the rest of the way. You could take a car. You would have to convince a taxi to take you out there.
Yeah. I
Stop
can
at
take one of you
Derby.
guys.
Call
Wait.
it. Hey,
Let's
we
take
rode.
what?
So,
I-
could I buy a car using all the money I got?
You don't have a license,
Give me
right?
1 second so I can pull out the big book of prices for everything.
Okay. I'm just saying, Godfrey, we drove all the way to your sister's house.
That we did, and I am not inclined to sit in a car with you again for the drive.
The answer to that is possibly. It is entirely possible that you could buy a car.
But can he drive it? Because I don't know how licenses work.
I don't think you need a license back.
No, you did in the UK. There was a law.
I mean, you need a license for everything there. I forgot.
Yeah, it's.
You could always have Godfrey buy the car for you and then drive it legally.
Yeah, you stole it. Essentially.
Good luck getting Godfrey to buy a car for you guys.
Well, if you pay him back.
Does Godfrey want to do anything for us?
Oh, here we go. Non-U.S. vehicles. There are 2 listed for England. The cheapest one is $6,750.
Jeez.
I can't afford that. I only have 500 pounds.
Uh, I would let I would let you buy a motorcycle for $150 a piece. So you could buy motorcycles for everybody.
We could take a train.
Yes, you can take a train up to Derby, and then you would need to catch a ride out to Lesser Edale.
Let's just take the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, you don't want to be a biker gang? I don't see what the problem is there. Okay, so the 2 of whoever didn't ride with Godfrey take a train.
Apparently not me. I'm going on a train, boys. Who else is coming with me?
I'm with Godfrey.
I'll be with you, Princeton.
Woo!
You could hear the disappointment in his voice. I'll go with you, Princeton. Okay, so yeah, the 2 of you are able to catch a train up to Derby.
On the train, everybody's sitting very far away from me.
Yeah, definitely, certainly, almost certainly.
Choo choo.
Oh, this is cool. They don't have just like a Derby sound. That's fine. I'll figure it out. 2 of you take a train. The rest of you are able to drive up to Derby pretty quickly. Well, this trip is going to take you all day, pretty much. You guys are going to get there in the evening / night. Are you guys meeting up in Derby, or what's the plan? And I'll catch a ride.
We should have done this before. We got on that train.
I'm fine with this. This is like,
Okay.
we're like,
Yeah.
Meet up in Derby, say hi, and do we continue? Do we stop by? Do we get tourist gears? Or...
We'll want to meet up in Derby so we can go talk to Henson Manufacturing.
Oh. Yeah, let's do that.
okay. So you guys are gonna stay the night in Derby then, and then make your way to Edale in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you arrive in Derby, and yeah, it's a city. You find lodging there. I'm guessing Godfrey finds the most expensive place in the city.
Not good.
And yeah, in the morning, you guys have the address to Henson Manufacturing, right?
Yeah, we have a receipt that we
A
found in the
receipt.
Penhu Foundation.
Okay. I kind of want to double check if the address was on that receipt. I feel like it was. It honestly doesn't really matter if it wasn't, outside of for my own sanity, because it'll just be like, oh, we went and we looked for. Yeah, there's no. I don't see an address. Okay, so you guys. Again, doesn't really matter. You guys go. Where do you go? Like the newspaper? You ask around. Like, hey, you guys know where this business is? Eventually, you make your way. You find your way to Henson Manufacturing.
What was on the receipt again, by the way?
It is an order for a cast iron walk-in safe, custom built. It's delivered and fitted by Henson Manufacturing in Derby. So they were charged for those 2 things. Paid with thanks is the note at the bottom. from March 13th, 1922. So several years ago now. Okay, so but Henson Manufacturing itself, it's quite a large factory, fairly big. Like the you can tell that the workroom, the workshop inside is fairly big. Although it's not a very automated factory, it seems like there's a lot more. I guess you'd see this inside. There's a lot more working with your hands done here than automation. Although there is some automation, to be sure. There's a furnace. You can see the smoke billowing out as the work day has already gotten underway. Yeah, there's a large front gate, as well as a few guards. I think the guards are there at this time. Maybe they're only there at night. No, they are not patrolling right now. I apologize. No, yeah, there's a front gate that's open.
So we just walk right in.
You guys can do
I think
whatever
we
you
should
want.
come up with the reason why we would, like, what we want to know about the receipt. Like, I think knowing who paid for that and, like, why they wanted it would be good to know.
Good. Yeah. Do you think the owner or of Henson Manufactured would, allow us to find that out? Would they
I'm sure
get
they have
angry?
records.
Okay. I don't know if this is like super secret.
But, like, we probably need a reason to ask for it.
You can
Feel
just
like
say it's an associate of Godfrey's or something.
Yeah, we could just be like,
It's
oh, we're
either-
doing an internal audit or something.
No, we could say we are also interested in a safe. Godfrey obviously has a lot of money. He might need to store it somewhere.
Yeah. Or we could bribe them. All options.
A lie is cheaper than the bribe.
That is also true.
Yeah. I'll just
Okay.
go with I'm auditing expense reports for the Penhue Foundation. I'll just go with that angle. Seeing if we can get a tax write-off for it.
Okay. I'll stay in the back because, mummy face.
All right. Mummy face. Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys just walk right in the front door. Somebody's knocking. I would assume. And yeah, somebody comes in, opens the door, swings open. What? This is strange. We don't have people come in around this time. Hello, gentleman, lady. What can I do you for?
Hi there, sir. So my name is Mr. Starwood, and I am a new finance officer at the Penhue Foundation. And I was auditing some internal records because I want to evaluate our taxes, make sure they're up to date, we're writing off what we should. And I wanted to talk to you about this receipt from a few years ago.
Okay. What do you have there? And he takes it from you, and he's like looking at it and squinting.
So do you have any records on this purchase? I want to know who bought it so I know which account to charge it to.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you that it was bought by the it was the I'm sorry, that's me, not him. It was paid for by the head of the foundation at the time.
Who was that at the time? Was it
Was this-
Gavigan
Was it
or a different
22? I believe it was Gavigan at the time. I don't pay attention to company politics. But yes, it was just charged to the head of the company. Might I ask, why wasn't I informed ahead of time of your arrival? That's not Big Ben in the background. You're in Derby.
It's all on you, Sam.
So, Gavigan's on holiday, and
Well,
I'm just
still
trying to get records in before the tax season.
Well, okay. I thought this business was all squared away, but yeah, that's it. It was charged to the head.
And then, could you say why why Gavigan purchased it, and any details of it? I need to put a record in for internal information. It's
Well,
all corporate that's there.
Well, from what I understand, this was the record. Why? Anybody who's asking me about this should.
Like I said, I'm new here. I took
I-
over the job from the old records person.
Well, what I was told was that this receipt would be plenty. I think I need to speak with Gavigan himself.
Like I said, he's on holiday, but he gets back in a few weeks.
I can wait. I'll send a letter. He can get back to me whenever he gets back.
Alrighty then.
By the way, you might not know this, but Godfrey, the postal system in England is very good. If he sends this letter right now, it'll be to Gavigan, and Gavigan will be able to send one back before the day is over.
You gotta step in.
Each.
Godfrey, you gotta step in.
Alright, how do I get this guy to stop sending a letter?
Okay.
I can just imagine like time freezes and Godfrey is like, oh God.
Okay.
What if I throw 200 pounds at him?
That's what happens every time in Godfrey's head when time freezes like this.
Immediately
Throw
going to
money at
bribery.
him.
Okay. I wouldn't know this information, so
I'm a
throw
slap.
one.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap 200 pounds. That's all the money I carry on me. Go big or go home.
What are you doing? What was that?
Okay,
Don't send that letter.
Why?
give me 1 second.
Don't look at me,
Before I-
Phillips.
Okay.
Don't look at me. Do not.
Look at the sun or something.
Oh my eyes. No.
It's nighttime.
It is.
It's not. It's no. You guys stayed the night in Derby, so it's the morning. I kind of
I
rushed
thought we
through
were doing
that
this
to.
evening time.
No,
What
I
a
kind of
quick
rushed
prank to
through
pull
that
on me.
to.
I mean, if we're gonna be completely honest, I kind of zoned out and I don't know what we're doing. But I'm just gonna assume that sending the letter is a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna let Gavigan know what we're doing, or hint at that.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to kill him.
He looks at you, and then he
Yep.
looks at the money,
Yeah,
and then he looks
that's
at
a
you,
lot of fucking money.
and he raises an eyebrow, and
no.
he tucks the money. You know what? Actually, give me a charm roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a
Oh.
charming old man.
I'm
Let me
scared.
see my dice.
I'm scared.
This can only end positively. Alright, what's the double zeros on the 90
That's
to 100?
That's a zero. That's 0 in the 10 space.
Alright, well,
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
He's very charming.
Could he
I
slide
will
some money
say-
back?
I will say there were going to be levels of success here. Like if you got a normal success, something was going to happen. If you got a hard, but with a 1, yeah, he just pocketed the money and
He gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Before I go,
They don't pay him.
is there anything else you need? Real quick, it must be quick. I'm needed.
You have apple juice.
No, we don't keep any food inside. The workers, they get distracted.
No need to explain. You're good. Go do your thing. It was a pleasure meeting you.
So why did Gavin need a big safe?
I'm afraid I can't divulge that information without
Okay.
speaking to Gavigan first, and clearly that
Don't
may
do
not be
that.
happening. So
They really don't pay you well enough, do they?
Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around to walk out of the store. Then, as soon as I'm not facing the guy, I have like an extreme grimace on my face as I walk out. Should only give it a 50. Should only give it a 50. Should only give it a 50.
by the way, if you had like a normal success, I was gonna have him take the money and send the letter anyway.
Oh. Well,
That went kind of poorly. We didn't learn anything new.
should we go back?
Spy mission time.
We're broke until I get to a bank.
Was that your
Oh.
entire spending level, or was that just like in character how much money you think he would carry on him?
Yeah, that's just in character how much money I'd carry on me. I have no
Okay.
idea how to calculate my spending level.
Your spending level, I believe, is just 50. So you have to take 150. I believe it's just 50. So
I
'cause
had mine written down. I don't.
for wealthy people, spending level is all the same. It's just what you can spend for before you like dip into your private funds.
I love how Godfrey didn't know what was happening, and then when he called
Just
it, he
threw
just goes,
money.
money.
Yeah, so for wealthy people, your spending level is $50. So
Oh fuck.
you threw $200 down.
Yep.
So take 150 out of your cash, and if you spend any more money today, it'll come out of your cash as well. But yeah,
We're fine. I have money also.
Plus, we have like the infinite funds.
Jackson.
oh yeah, you could probably get reimbursed for that. Although he didn't give you a receipt, so maybe not. I don't know if he could have given you a receipt. Bribe $200, and he slides it back towards you.
I'm gonna mark that somewhere and take it out of the fund.
Okay, so you guys just headed to Lesser Edale, however you say it, however you British people say it. Edgel. I would think Edgel. I don't know why. All right. So you guys trying to catch a cart? You're gonna try and convince a taxi driver to take you out there?
Yeah. A cab.
Yes,
We
no.
call it a cab in the yeah.
A cabbie.
A
Cabbie. Okay.
Can I get a cab?
Just your own.
She's going solo.
Yeah, you call a cab. Hello.
Oh wait,
ma'am.
Godfrey has to bunk with us because he spent all his money.
What would be your fare to go to the place that we're going to? I don't.
Lesser Edgel. I know exactly where that is.
What would be just your day, like your normal rate to go there?
Well, this would be. I would get back pretty late. That would take up most of my day. I don't
Don't
know.
tell me no just yet. Just give
It's
me
like-
give me a number.
I'm doing some calculations in my head. how many fares per day. What would he charge?
Start sweating.
call
Sweating.
$1, and then he would probably take like, we'll call it like $20. I think that'd be like 100 pounds. I feel like that's fair for 1920s. $20 for a day's fares in a cab.
Hey, I'm 40.
Whoa.
Double.
Also, purest exchange rate's the other way. Pounds are more valuable than dollars.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
All right, so that would be 4 pounds in a day. So people are just handing him like 25p every fare, and he gets like, what would that be? That'd be like 6. It'd be 4, so 16 fares. Sure, $40. I'm not gonna sit here and calculate that any further than that.
Amelia, can I go with you?
Yeah, I was about to say, anyone who can fit in the car can come.
There are 4 seats.
Wow, it's a
Princeton
big cabin.
time.
Well, if he lets you guys sit, I mean, you're paying him twice his daily fare, so
Never mind.
he'll let somebody sit in the front seat.
So Godfrey, how does it feel to be a poor?
Terrible.
Yeah.
How can you live like this?
Are you sure we can't fit anyone in the trunk?
That would be illegal.
Would not be safe, sir. I'm afraid. I'm afraid only safety for a high-paying customer, such as what's your name, Miss?
You can call me Miss Greenwald.
Okay, Miss Greenwald. Only
Miss?
only the safest.
Well, if I put another
Ms.
$10 on top of that.
You can sit in the trunk if you pay me another $10. Sure.
Deal.
Okay. Wow. Wheeling and dealing, guys. This is how it goes.
I didn't want to pay another entire fare.
Well, you paid more than a fare. Like that. I said like his. I was trying to calculate his like day's wages, basically. Like how much he makes in a day.
Well, $10 is my daily spending, so.
All right. Fair
I can
enough.
afford it. I can afford the trunk.
So you guys all are we all climbing into this truck, or is Godfrey gonna try and take his own cab? He can go to the bank and pull out more money.
Nah,
Well,
I'm hopping
if Godfrey, yeah, I was gonna say you
Bro.
better take it because I'm in the trunk and there's still an extra seat.
You climb in the trunk and Godfrey just like taps it and he's like, "Well, off to get my own cab." Okay, so you all cram into this cab.
I'm just
And-
having such a hard time visualizing it. It's like a transformer or like the Gundam.
It's like a clown car.
This literally happened to a few of the interns that I'm part of, like in real life, aside from character. Literally happened like 2 weeks ago.
It's 5
Yeah.
miles, so it's not too far by car. It's not too bad. Those of you not in the trunk can see as there you go over some hills and valleys to get out here.
Sunlight.
You drive alongside of a cliff at some point. If you look out the window, it's quite a beautiful place. However, you can certainly see there are clouds forming over the region.
Where's the sunlight?
So, on the way, you arrive probably late afternoon, early evening. You drive into a relatively small town. The man, after he pulls up, writes down something on a piece of paper and hands it to Miss Greenwald, and he goes, Ma'am, let me know in the morning when or any time you need to get picked up, and I'll make my way over here. I actually did. Well, I'll say it was further away than it says in the book because I thought initially it was, but so it did take him like the whole day to get you guys out here and go back. Sorry, guys. I live in Texas. Everything is really far away all of the time. So, so I just assumed. But yeah. So
I mean, also cars weren't as fast back then.
that is true also. And you noticed you had to go over a lot of dirt roads and back roads to get out here. It's quite the trip. Even though it's not that far. So you arrive as you're all getting out of the car, and somebody lets Arthur out of the trunk. He goes, "I believe there's an inn in town. I don't know the name of it, but you should be able to find it fairly easily. There's not a lot of buildings here, but again, call the cab company and give them that number and tell them you have a fare out here, and I'll make my way out." And he gets back in the car and drives away, leaving you guys in the middle of nowhere. Basically, there are driving in. You see there, it's a quaint town. It's quite small. There's a few residential buildings, an inn. There's a few farms nearby, but outside of like this general vicinity. There's also a church in town, as well as he may have told you while you were all driving in the car. Hey, there's a I'm sorry. There's a manor nearby, a castle. The family there their family are nobles from the area. So they used to own this area. So, find yourselves in Lesser Edale. What do you do? It's beginning to rain also, since it's evening.
Do you guys want to go into? You're muted.
I was about to say, is that just what happens here? It gets dark and it rains.
That is all of England for you. So.
Welcome to Great Britain.
Yeah.
I don't really like it here.
Neither do I. Do you want to go inside that mansion, or you want to knock to get some shelter?
I feel like it'd be less weird if we went to an inn.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I'm more comfortable at
There was an inn?
He said
Okay.
there was an inn.
The guy, the cab just recommended the inn 2 seconds ago.
All I
before
saw
he
was
drove
that
away.
Inn.
You didn't even see the mansion. He told you about it. It's over the next hill.
This is fun. Let's
Okay.
go find an inn.
Let's go to that inn.
Oh, really? What a brilliant idea.
Okay. So, money to pay.
I'll
For the
pay
inn.
for it.
Thank you.
The inn
Okay.
can't be that expensive anyways. Let's go find what. Let's go just look for an inn, because I don't think he described it at all.
No, he didn't know the name of it. He said there's not
Yeah.
that many buildings here. Go find it.
So which of these buildings look like an inn?
You see
Any-
one of them
Which
near the door has a sign, like a hanging sign from a pole that sticks out, that says
it says inn?
it says the Laughing Horse Inn.
Wow, I think
Yep.
that's the inn.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't say inn on the sign. My bad.
Well, Laughing Horse sounds like the place I want to go.
Yeah.
Looks
I
very
don't
Maybe
know.
it's a bar.
Either a bar or an inn. There's no in between. Maybe it could be both. It could be a tavern.
Wow.
That is very true.
So we're gonna go and walk up. And what do we see?
You walk inside, and there are it's quite rowdy in here.
Oh.
There are people talking and laughing, and there's people milling about. It's actually the sounds I clicked on were not as rowdy as I thought they were going to be. Just like laughing, just occasional laughing.
That's very rowdy.
It's not quite the busy hours yet. Some people might still be getting off of work. So you know, this bar, it's not at capacity just yet. But there's clearly some people milling about. A few people are a few drinks in. A few people may have just gotten there recently. The bartender is behind or the innkeep is behind the bar, cleaning glasses.
Oh, righty. Well, I think we should get some drinks.
Okay.
If you can drink them anyways.
I'll pay for the room.
Godfrey, I think he might be richer than you.
As soon as I get to the bank.
There's no bank in Lesser Edale. I promise you that, Godfrey.
For now. Temporary.
So, you all get inside of the inn. You walk up to the innkeep. He finishes cleaning the glass. He puts it down. What can I do you for?
I'd like,
Drink coming right up.
yeah, if I get a couple rooms.
How many would you need? We've got space is a little limited.
Good share.
I have 5 people.
5 people. We have a 3-bed and a 2-bedroom, if that would suit
That'll
your
work.
needs. Perfect. He takes your money. It's like we'll call it £1. So $5. Maybe it would be less than, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I'm just making you guys spend all your money today. That's the goal. So, he gets that drink for Princeton. Anything else I can do for you? We're
Do you
not
have a
busy
straw?
quite yet.
straw?
A straw. This is an inn. We don't. You drink it like a man, sir.
Okay.
I'm very very proper speaking for this random guy in the middle of nowhere in England.
You don't have to be so mean.
Actual question though, were straws invented at this time?
I have no idea, honestly.
Because I don't feel like they existed.
Princeton just started saying that, and none of us have questioned it.
It should have been.
I feel like they had like wooden straws, but I don't think they had like.
Probably not plastic drinking straws.
Yeah, definitely not.
1888 by an American.
Woo.
They were made out of
America.
paper.
Sounds like an
Oh,
Full
yes.
circle. Full circle. Okay, well, back to the scene. You don't have to be such a dick about it, man. Okay? I want to...
very 1920s.
Would any would anybody else need any help?
I don't see what Richard has anything to do with this.
Yeah, my name isn't Richard.
I'm just gonna enjoy this drink.
Can I buy a bottle of some hard or liquor?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a whiskey. Just
Sure.
the whole bottle.
Yes, sir.
I'll put it on your tab. Are you all gonna be here for a few days? I'll go ahead and put it on the tab.
No, I'll just pay for it now.
Just pay for it now. Okay. It's like a $1.50. I have a list. I definitely could look that up, but I would not. I don't
bottle
want,
of whiskey.
I don't want to look up the price of everything every time you guys ask me to to buy something.
What assortment of teas does this inn have?
Ma'am, this is the United Kingdom. Of course we have tea.
What assortment do you have? What are
Well,
my options?
well, we have we have black tea and we have lemon. That you could, we basically have some fruits that you could put in it if you like. Lemons, raspberries, blueberries.
Do you have mint?
We do have mint.
Can I do blueberry and mint?
Sure.
Very quirky.
It's good.
I will say, like, outside of I'm sure mint was put in at this time.
Yeah.
I don't think any place
There's
would.
a lot of
I don't think any place would do it for you.
I can pay them. Of course I
I've
would.
never heard of blueberry tea.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I've
It's
heard.
good.
It's not. I don't think it's like very pop. Anyway, this is not. It's not super popular, but it is a thing that people do. Anyhow.
Princeton, while they're talking with the innkeeper about what's been going on here.
Surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we gonna do it?
We'll do it in the room. We'll get the room for 2 people.
As you guys are talking to the innkeep, after a few minutes after they walk away, you just hear like screaming from upstairs.
Before.
Well, we're not screaming yet. You gotta roll that medicine check.
We'll do that after they talk to the
Yeah.
innkeeper.
Okay.
All right, and you haven't heard anything about a monster in the nearby area, have you?
When you say that, actually, like, it clearly gets quieter. Some of the people milling about, like, some of them are talking and laughing. You could hear like a pin drop at this point. A monster.
Yes, a beast that mauls people. You know, tears them apart.
Leaves their entrails about.
Thanks, sir.
Pulls out a dictionary and
Rails.
just reads off what mall means.
You should you should really be careful where you're going around saying things like that.
It was in the newspaper. You're not keeping it very secretive, are you?
Well, yes, but this is a very small town. We're very tight knit. Not everyone wants to talk about our friends and neighbors being mauled by some beast.
Well, no, of course not. But we're here, and maybe we could help you out with something.
Well, apparently,
Maybe a little bit more sensitive about the topic.
Investigator Tumwell has already taken care of the problem. He said it was some wild dog. He found and shot the thing. So,
But do you truly believe it was a dog?
I haven't seen it myself, but some say that the people who have seen it say that it was a hairy thing, stood up on its hind legs. Maybe it was a really big dog. I'm not sure.
Well, dogs have fur, not hair.
Well, from in the dark. Maybe it was a. Do they have bears in England? I was gonna say maybe it was a bear. I don't know.
That is possible. I think there are. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know actually.
There are bears in England.
I can't think of a place
Yeah.
that doesn't have bears.
Maybe it was a bear. Yeah, it's true. I guess they're in Russia as well. I know they're in Russia because I've seen pictures.
Russian bear.
Definitely in Russia,
Russian bears, but
Canada, United States.
yeah, but I don't know. I just don't know the wildlife of England.
It'd be strange if they were in England though.
Maybe it was a bear. I don't know. Um, some big hairy thing walking about, tearing people apart.
It's possible.
A man swore that it was a dog walking on its hind paws. The black dog of Edale.
Any chance that, or like how many people are in this area?
There's maybe like, you mean in Edale in
The inn.
general, or
Oh, in the inn, like it.
in
Like,
the inn? Maybe like 8, 9, 10 people outside of you guys. It's not a lot.
And it's Amelia's with me, and is anyone else with me?
We all didn't go leave. We're all
Well,
just like,
you're getting your. Oh, I think
No,
you
yeah,
went to go
you
get
no,
surgery.
you went upstairs, Princeton. You and Sam went upstairs,
oh,
and we're
Okay,
just
so I'm
waiting.
with
Yeah, Godfrey
Okay.
should be there as well.
Okay.
What does Godfrey order from the innkeep?
you can't buy anything.
Nothing. Nothing.
I can always get you a drink if you want one, Godfrey.
Thank you, Mr. McKenzie. This is not my type of establishment. I don't think I'm very hungry right now.
I will choose not to take offense to that, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I approach other people in the inn?
Yeah. There's
Preferably the drunkest of people.
okay. Yeah, there's a guy at the bar actually, a few stools down, who is blasted.
Now, is he blasted in a good way, or is he like depressed blasted?
Yeah, he's a pretty jolly fellow.
You just
He's
heard him burp.
smiling. He's trying to. he's trying to get the innkeep's attention because he was telling him a story when you walked in. And he's just like snapping and like chuckling and saying, "Hey, sir, I'm not done. Not quite."
Okay, I guess I go over and ask him about the beast thing.
The black dog. It's seems like a folk tale to me. But I've heard things, but people have only seen glimpses of the thing. It's. I tell you what, though, I've heard howling. I thought it was. It could have been dogs or wolves, but it only happens on the full moon.
Oh, so you noticed it was only on the full moon? That's very interesting.
Well, you've heard stories, right, of beasts made of men that
Of course.
hunt on the full moon. Scary stories to
course.
tell our children.
But those are obviously like just mere stories.
Right, of course. But I've just noticed this. Maybe it's a pack that comes by once a month or so.
And what is the wildest thing that you've heard about this? You know, what's the craziest story you've heard from people around here about this so-called beast?
That it could rise to taller than most men and with one swipe tear you limb from limb.
Very interesting. Thank you for your help, sir.
No problem. If you'd like to talk about something a little more exciting, I'll be here some other time. maybe.
Alrighty. I might take you up on that eventually.
I guess I walk away.
He finishes his drink and he actually like leaves.
Okay. I turn to Amelia and Sir Godfrey.
Well, what do you guys want to do now?
I would like to go to bed.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay up and drink?
No.
I am old, Mr. McKenzie. I do not stay up anymore.
That's your loss.
It's at this moment that a man in a police uniform walks in the door, and the innkeep bends to talk to all of you. Sorry to interrupt. That seems to be Constable Tumwell now. You could probably ask him about this dog that he shot.
Can I approach him?
Yeah.
And what's his name again? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Tumwell.
Tomwell?
Tumwell.
Tumwell.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Hello there, Mr. Tumwell. I heard it was you that destroyed the beast that was haunting many of this town.
Well, it was no beast, of course. I found I tracked a hound, a wild dog, traveling through the hills, and I shot it, and it's gone off into the hills to die now.
Well, that's mighty impressive. Would you mind having a drink with me and telling me how your adventure and getting to this beast went?
Sure, absolutely. Nobody in town seems to appreciate the deed. Now that it's been done, of course, they were all asking me for help before. Absolutely. So over drinks, he basically recounts this incredible tale of how he tracked the beast himself. At that, the innkeep kind of rolls his eyes at that comment specifically, and then he talks about how he saw the beast. It was this huge black dog, and he shot it in the back, and it reared back. It was huge on its hind legs. It didn't look around for him. It just like bolted off into the forest, and there was blood on the ground. So, no living being could survive a shot like that. And
Did you do this all by yourself?
Yes.
That's very impressive.
Thank you. We've had no trouble since I shot the blighter. Thank God. So, it's really incredible. We haven't, Lesser Edale. We don't typically have many problems out here, and they don't usually amount in me getting to shoot anything. So, this was a nice change of pace for me.
I guess that's the end of him recounting his story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Okay.
Or, actually, this definitely isn't an intimidate.
No, yeah.
Give
I learned
me,
that one after last episode.
Yeah. You can give me a charm or persuade. If you can argue fast talk, I'd let you use that one as well. But you have to argue it to me. Okay. Then you give
Definitely
me
don't want to use that one.
You give me a charm or persuade then.
Let me see. Let me find persuasion here. I'll give you a charm. Let me roll charm here.
Okay.
I got a 7,
All
which
right.
is a extreme success.
All right. Unfortunately, the case is now closed, but this dog seems to have gotten into a lot of trouble. That a lot of people know what happened, but they don't know how gruesome it was. This dog, he killed several people. We found bodies of members of our town, all ripped apart savagely, torn them from limb, their entrails loose. There were bites and claw marks. Our local examiner, he said that it was very clearly a wild animal attack of some kind. The bites indicative of some kind of a large dog. Another one of our own barely escaped his own life. Man named Harold Short. He was knocked unconscious, and he had deep lacerations in his lower abdomen. Hey, he's okay now. He's up with one of his brothers in Skegness, which is out on the east coast, quite a ways. I've sent some letters out there. He seems to have made a recovery. But that all happened 3 months ago, and then I shot the dog, and everything's fine now.
Well, that is wonderful news. So glad you could save this town from any more horror from that beast.
Well, thank you. I'm certainly glad I could do my duty and protect some people.
Well, I think that'll be all from me tonight. I should probably go to sleep now. But if I have any other questions...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that?
I was just going to say I should get some rest as well. Got an early day tomorrow.
All right. Well, if I have any other questions for you, I'll be sure to stop by, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yes, please do. Yeah, it's a small town. If you're staying for a few days, I'm sure we'll see each other some other time. And with that, he finishes his drink and gets up and walks away.
I guess is anyone else awake, or did everyone already go to bed?
Still getting surgery done on my face.
I'm out.
That's probably finishing up, but let's cut to that. We'll just skip the old setup. Sam, give me that medicine check. See how this surgery goes.
I may also have to do an education check, because I'm reading the textbook as I'm doing the surgery.
Okay, do a combined, which basically a combined roll means whichever one's lower, roll that one. And if you pass, then you pass both.
Okay. I passed the medicine check.
Okay. What level of success?
A normal.
Normal. Okay. I'll say no extra damage is done, as long as are you doing by the book medicine here?
I have the book with me.
Going page by page.
Yeah.
Are you getting experimental at all here, or is this just you're following
Artistic license
as much as possible?
I'd probably follow as much as possible, because I don't know a lot about this.
Okay. So, No extra damage is done. But not much is healed either. You're able to clear up a little bit more of the scarring by essentially covering it up with some skin, basically
with glue.
with glue. Yeah, just lathering glue on top until it disappears.
It's like the skin behind your ears that they use.
Yeah, he
Grafting,
just takes some extra skin from elsewhere on Princeton's body and covers it up with as flat a layer as possible just to cover
You
up
perform
the
skin
scarring.
grafting with glue.
And yeah, Princeton, you wake up. Your ear hurts a little bit.
What did you say? What did you say?
Not your inner ear, just like the outside of your ear.
I can't hear your disembodied voice. Sam, get me a mirror. Get me a mirror. I need to see the art you've done to me.
Okay, you're gonna be careful. You're gonna look quite beautiful. Then I like shine a light and then give him the mirror.
You shine the light like in his eyes as he's looking.
And I start drooling. Do that again.
Just turn the lamp on and off.
Oh. Thank you, Sam.
Oh wait, he's playing into his mania. I forgot.
Yeah.
That was okay.
I'm just really confused.
That's also for the viewers. I was just gonna like in my head be like okay, but I thought the viewers might also get confused.
Okay. Oh
See?
yeah, the mirror. I forgot. That's what this entire thing was about. Can I look into it?
Yeah.
I
Like,
look.
one scar is like covered up. And he's like,
I look slightly better. I think if you look really, really, really close, you squint your eyes. I look a little
Yeah.
bit better.
I knew this would make you feel a bit better.
Very slightly.
Yeah.
you kind of fixed his mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that in New York.
Okay, I'll say you were able to fix up pretty much like maybe not all of, but like the majority at this point between fixing up his mouth and doing this. You're able to fix up like a good amount of the scarring on the lower half of his face.
Can you turn on the light again?
Sure.
I'm gonna do this all night. Yeah.
I really learned about that big castle thing. It looked really cool.
I feel like if I went on top of that castle, I can get a very good look at the sun.
I would not recommend doing that. At least
Bro-
ask them first, actually.
And what if they say no?
Then respect them. 'Cause they're nobles. And nobles are fancy people.
But this is my chance at seeing the sun firsthand.
I'm gonna get some sleep.
Okay.
I turn off the light.
Oh. Okay. I guess I'm going to sleep too.
I guess they're in the 2-person room. All right.
Yeah.
Night passes. Godfrey, the old man, wakes up at the crack of dawn. Basically, old person powers. And yeah.
This bed was terrible.
What would you guys like to do? Do you want to try and talk to anyone?
Maybe we could like discuss things over breakfast or something.
This is true.
Yeah.
We
Let's
usually
try
do
it.
For the plan.
So, where does this Harold Short guy live?
Are you asking me or asking if anyone knows?
Asking if anyone knows.
Well, I was informed of it, but honestly, I don't remember.
He didn't say where he lives. He just said that he went. He's at his
No.
brother's house in a city on the East Coast.
So he's
Oh,
far.
Yeah, he's far away.
all right. Well, last night I learned that the sheriff believes he killed the dog, but in reality, we have absolutely no proof. So there's that. On the plus side, it hasn't really attacked anyone, so that's good news for us. What did you guys want to do?
Well, is there a problem then? If
Well,
if he says he's
we,
killed the dog and it's been 3 months, like
well, I think he should be able to claim his prize. Get the actual pelt of this beast that he slayed or claims to have slayed. He says no one was with him when he did it, which is just a wee bit suspicious. So I think maybe we could venture into the woods and see if we can find the corpse or pelt of this animal.
Yeah. If there's no corpse, then it's not dead, and I want to shoot it.
it's been 3 months. Also, didn't he say something about the full moon? Like,
That was another guy at the bar. He said the full moon is when it attacks, He believes it to be some kind of a creature that only is like it's a man human and it's taller than your average person.
in the
I'm
average
not
Harold.
really- I'm not really one to just go walking around the woods looking for
I wasn't thinking.
corpses.
Well, I was thinking perhaps we could have the sheriff help us out because he shot it, so hopefully he knows where it was, and perhaps he would like to claim his prize. So
Would anyone like to give me an idea roll? Intelligence.
Idea. This is 90 in intelligence.
Anybody who wants
so-
to.
Me, I succeeded.
I guess
I got
I'll
a hard
roll
success.
intelligence.
I
Oh,
failed.
Let's see, what's my intelligence?
I'm not convinced there's anything wrong here.
I got just a normal success.
You all could ask around the town, ask people who are related to victims, see if you can get in contact with the one survivor. There's some other ideas that you might have sitting here thinking about things that you can do.
When's the next full moon?
It's quite a while, I believe. Actually, let me double check that. But yeah, it shouldn't be for some time.
Are there any towns?
Theoretically,
Oh.
I learned about the observers. So would you, from context clues, they observe probably our world. They might have answers.
Are you suggesting that we try to summon something?
we don't want to do that, do we? That's dangerous.
So Amelia, you would know this is not a summon. This is a contact. You can talk
Yeah.
with them.
Just gotta be friendly to them. Talk to them. Ask what they might know.
I gotta go get another book in case you guys decide to do this.
Okay.
While y'all do that, I'll go the other approach and maybe ask some people that were related to the victims.
Related to the victim.
I don't want us to be too suspicious.
I mean,
Is there-
Asking her, we walked into their town and we're asking them personal questions. I don't want to get like.
So your solution is to contact some random being from not of this world.
Yes.
They are
Just an
of
idea.
this world, just of another age, a long time ago.
oh.
You voice from the sky. You must also.
This would be Amelia's memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just
Sure,
an
sure.
ancient race. Not like a monster. They seem friendly. I've read a lot.
Do you know if they speak English?
So,
My
it's worth a
experience.
shot.
I
End up being like Irish.
I'm just giving disappointed grunts. You know what? Might as well go with this. No one ever listens to Princeton.
So what would you rather do? Like,
Sir Harold Godfrey, do you want to go with me to ask people about the victims of the attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think I'll join you as well, Sam.
I mean, I'm not doing this alone. If nobody else really wants to
I'm
do
going with Amelia, because you know what? People are scary around here.
Yeah, Amelia, don't worry. I have Princeton to help you out here. I pat her back and walk over to Sam.
And you just scurry along. All right, Amelia and Princeton bonding time. Let's do this.
Fun. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
Okay, so Amelia and Princeton contacting
I guess we're gonna go into the room where Princeton got his face somewhat fixed.
Yeah, contacting an ancient race that Amelia kind of knows about. Everybody else, what is everybody else doing?
We're going door to door shopping. I meant we're going door to door, looking for, I guess, people who are relatives of people who got attacked or killed.
We could probably just ask the innkeeper if he knows any names of people that were killed, or even the paper
that
might
also.
have one. I scroll and see.
Yeah, I didn't really read the paper.
Okay, I guess we will do the contact first.
George Osgood and Lydia Perkins.
Okay, so I guess.
I'm ready.
Let me look
If
up contact spells real quick.
If this is the way Princeton goes out,
Do I get
at
to
least he's
use
going
my,
out with a
magic
bang.
points?
Yeah,
For the first time ever? Or no?
yeah, we haven't calculated magic points. I know
It's
you
on the
guys.
thing. Yeah.
Oh,
It's on my sheet already.
It's
already
automatically calculated. I
it
got
costs
10.
you 4 magic points.
That's fine. I have 11.
I've got 10.
Same.
This
Okay.
seems like a great idea. I don't know why nobody else except for Princeton wants to
Princeton's
be
a
part of this.
genius. He loves adventure.
Sure.
So that's like, oh my god, hold on.
Alright.
Is that close enough to there?
I have no idea if I'm about to die or not, but like
You're
I'm
not
going out
about
with a
to
bang.
die. You are not about to die. I promise.
This seems pretty. They're just
Okay.
the observers. They probably know something.
Either that or my sanity is gonna go down. That's a possibility. We'll see what happens there.
How far? I said it
Probably
was.
not by,
I said it was
much.
50 miles, right, or 150 miles. 170 miles. Okay. Well, you guys are still near Derby, so that. Amelia, what's your luck at?
My luck?
Yes. What is your luck?
Mine's at 77.
61.
Okay, Amelia. As you're casting this spell, you're looking into the Narcotic manuscripts and you're reading the incantations and making motions with your hands and motioning for Princeton to do some things, I guess. Give me a luck check, and also spend 4 magic points.
I got a 12.
Okay. That's a hard success, right?
Well, luck doesn't. I thought luck didn't have like.
Yeah, not really, but I was kind of considering it for this because it's kind of a weird situation. Anyway.
Actually, it's an extreme,
All right. Well.
technically, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. I can do that.
You use this. You use this spell. You say the incantations. You feel this empty space form in your mind for a second. And it's frightening. You can't think of anything for a second, but you can feel that you're scared.
Okay.
Okay. Then all of a sudden, you suddenly feel another presence in your mind. Oh, this is a young being. Um, f-
Hello?
you aren't very close to me. What purpose do you have for calling me here?
I'm going to be. I don't completely know what you are. All I really know is your name.
Oh, actually, also for this, also feeling this presence in your mind, roll me a
Feel
sanity
like-
check. Yeah,
I thought that was coming.
I almost
Princeton is
forgot.
just
You
like,
almost
"You're
got
okay,
away. Yeah, Princeton just her eyes like roll
fine.
into the back of her head. Lose a sanity for this.
Just one. That's fine. You're good. Anyways,
Um,
I don't exactly know what you are. I only know your name, and I'm in an unsettling situation, and I don't know if you can help me. All I'm asking for is some help.
Some help with what?
You see, I'm in this area, and they have had maulings from this creature every new moon, and they say that they killed him. I don't know what's going on.
Child, listen. This is one of the most important times, maybe ever. If you're who I think you are, you may have a part to play in all this. But
Who do you think I am?
I cannot go around. I was gonna say willy-nilly, but I don't think an ancient great race would use that terminology. I cannot go around just anywhere and divulge information about what could happen or what has happened or time and like I can't help you. I'm afraid.
Is there anything you can tell me? Who do you think I am?
Well, time has a way of making things happen. Anyhow, I suppose I can tell you this. I don't know who you are, but well, we've been watching the world, doing research on what happens, and you are seem to have some part to play in what's going to happen. It's not really
Does
my.
this have anything to do with the cult of the Black Pharaoh?
There's. I don't really specialize in cults. I just know I'm in the time before a big event. I'm not even the one who researches the event. I just research the run up. Right now I'm researching Derby. It's quite a quaint place. But
They can't help me at all. Couldn't help me with these poor people. that
it's
are getting
possible.
mauled.
It's possible I could help you with some things.
But
My I don't believe I have too much information I can divulge properly to you. One thing I will say. Be careful with contacting things you know nothing about, young one.
Then how do I find out more information?
Well,
Where's your Wikipedia page, sir?
you could try doing anything except for contacting beings that would shatter your human mind. That's where you could start.
Didn't know that was the thing.
Well,
So, I guess I have more to learn. And know where to learn it, so.
you humans
Kinda
certainly always have something to learn, and nowhere or no time to learn it. So good luck with your problem. I'm afraid I must go.
Damn it.
What a pleasant gentleman.
He was very nice, but that was very disappointing.
Wait, where was the cool part?
I
Was
think I
that-
got did my mind get shattered? Is that what that was? Or is that like more violent? This is a question like out of game. Did I just get
Oh.
my mind shattered?
No, mind. When I said mind shattering, I meant like going permanently insane.
Okay. I didn't know
Let's-
if that was like him entering my brain.
No.
Okay.
He's saying like,
Don't do that because you might do.
don't
might
just
get-
randomly contact beings that you don't know anything about.
It sounded
Okay,
like fun.
so what did I say?
You can if you want. He's saying I don't. I guess I shouldn't have used the word don't. I think just be mindful that you may be contacting something that could shatter your mind.
He sounded nice, and he
Yeah,
was.
and he was nice, and he actually would not have shattered your mind even if you failed that sanity check. However, there may or may
Okay.
not be beings that will.
I better be careful.
Yeah. Basically, he just told me that he couldn't help us with this particular thing. But we were, he said that he saw me being a part of some big event. So I have no idea what that means, but it makes me feel like we should just continue looking into these. We shouldn't stop looking into these cults, because obviously it's going to lead to something bigger.
So you just gave words of encouragement.
Yeah, pretty much. He gave me like a pat on the back.
I really should have gone with Sam.
Sorry.
I mean, from my perspective, you were just like talking to yourself. That's kind of
She
cool.
actually wasn't even talking. She was her eyes just like rolled back into
Oh.
her head, and then she like
So
sat
I was
there
just like, I
for
was
like
just waiting.
a full 5 minutes.
It's like, when's my turn? What's my turn? Rocking
I have
back and forth.
another being that you could contact if you wanted to. He was nice.
Should I do that? That's a good question. I feel like you're just trying to kill me over here. Because, you know, if I talk to this person, woo, I'm pretty sure I'll die.
What? Listen.
But would Princeton do it?
Listen, it's only the being that really nice guy apparently had fought for a bunch of years, a long time ago. So,
Okay.
I mean, like, you know, how bad can the person the nice guy is fighting possibly be? I don't know.
Princeton kind of want to get his time's worth out of this. So, you know, he spent all this time setting this, you know, this up. So, I think he might actually go for it, as much as I don't want to do it.
Oh my
That
god.
is what Princeton would do.
So Princeton is going to contact one of the winged ones.
I'm like, yeah, give me that book.
You should probably like study it for a little. Like,
Well, you can walk him through it. I would let you walk him
yeah,
through it.
okay.
Yeah.
I just want him to like mess up the spell, and then he contacts the Black Pharaoh. And
Oh, no.
He mind shatters it. Like, that would be bad.
Yeah, that would be really bad. I kind of want to go out with a bang. I don't want to go out just like sitting in a room and then I pee myself and die. That's not the way I'm gonna die. Princeton's
Okay.
gonna go out.
So, Amelia, you walk him through this incantation and this ritual. Princeton, spend 3 magic points, and your eyes Amelia, you see his eyes roll back. Person, you feel this empty. There's this empty spot in your mind that opens up, and then nothing happens. And then you open your eyes and you're sitting there. It was like when the empty spot in your mind opens up, it's like it feels like something is leaving that area, and then nothing comes back for a while, and then your eyes open and you're back sitting there. Amelia's looking at you.
Amelia, are you pulling a prank on me? Because this is not funny.
How are you pulling a prank on you?
Nothing happened.
You definitely felt something. Something definitely happened. But
yeah, this is like meditation.
Nobody was there. Nobody spoke to you.
You have to speak to somebody. Why don't I get to speak to anybody, huh? Amelia, huh?
I mean, you could call the observer's gun. They'll probably might answer you. Maybe it's like a phone and they just didn't pick up for you.
I am done being pranked on. I am going downstairs to meet up with Sam, wherever he is.
No, I mean they had the winged ones and the observers.
Yeah, blah 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 blah. That's what it
What
sounds
if
like right now.
the observers
Who needs
killed
lore?
all the winged ones?
You're just making all this up.
You can read the book too. You want? I've already finished up with this book. I've read it all. You can read this book. You can read what I read. See
I'm
what
not
you
gonna
believe.
entertain your fantasies, okay? Princeton out. I'm gonna walk out.
Okay.
I'm sure we're gone by the
Yeah,
time.
you guys are already gone.
I'm gonna go get a tea from downstairs.
Okay.
And I realize that they're gone, so I'm like, let's just stand over here,
All right.
drinking tea.
So you guys are just like going door to door, or
Well,
What's
weren't
happening?
we going to talk to the innkeeper?
Oh.
It's where the Osgood residence was.
okay. He actually owns the farm over the ridge, over the hill, on the west side of town.
Okay, thank you for the help.
Certainly. I don't know why every British person... I feel like every person, no matter what class, speaks very proper English. This random guy in the middle of nowhere who's probably not educated. Certainly, friends. He's right over the ridge. Anyway. Yeah, you guys make your way out there. It takes quite a bit of walking for you to get over there, because you crest the top of the hill, and you see there's quite a large farm. You can see a house on the other side of some fields that have maybe there's some wheat, some wheat fields, some other grains. Or I guess it's just coming out of winter, so he probably doesn't have anything planted. Alright, well, empty fields. Do they plant things in the 1920s in the winter? I apologize for not knowing that. Yeah, it's February. You make your way to the Osgood residence on his farm. A woman is sitting on the porch in a rocking chair. Edith. I don't know why I told you her name. She hello, friend. Won't get too many visitors out here. What? You from town? Are you coming from a holiday out in the country?
We're actually not even from the country.
Oh.
You can tell.
Like to take Americans taking a holiday in Out in well, Godfrey's also there, but he's not. He's just silent. He's gone mute. Um,
Actually, I'm the only American there.
that's true. But you're the only one who's spoken. Couple of Americans taking a holiday out in the English countryside. Sounds like a fun time.
We're actually looking into doing a little bit of research on what's been happening, or what has happened in Lesser Edale. We read in the paper that your husband was unfortunately attacked a while ago, and I just wanted to ask you about that.
I am, of course. Tears start forming in her eyes. You can see. Well, my husband, he heard something in the barn, and he went to investigate with his shotgun, of course. I sat out here on the porch waiting for him to come back just to make sure he was okay. But after a minute or two, I heard his shotgun go off, and then he screamed, and I'll never forget that scream. Out from the porch, I saw a large, hairy figure run away from the barn.
Did the figure look like it was hit with the shotgun?
No, it seemed fine. It looked like it may have been hit, but it was tall as a man and running faster than any man I've ever seen. It had to have been a demon. It couldn't have been anything else. I swear.
That makes me suspicious of Constable Tumwell's story that he killed it with a single shot.
Well, like I said, Tumwell wasn't. It seemed like he liked to stretch the truth a little bit, make it seem like he killed the beast in one shot. When in reality, he barely saw it. Hit it once and that was it.
So, do you have any idea why it might have targeted your husband? Was it random, or did he leave the barn open?
Some of our animals were killed, but targeted. She starts crying, and she kind of motions for you to go away through tears, and she gets up and goes inside.
Gonna be obvious, but can I do a psychology check on her?
Yes.
Okay, I got a hard success.
She is very sad. She's so sad about her husband dying. She's crying. She's very upset that her husband is dead and does not wish to talk about it anymore.
Okay, well, that leaves one sad family left to talk to. The family of Lydia Perkins.
Did we talk to the innkeeper about that person as well, or?
We
I didn't ask.
We can say so, I would say. They have a house in the village. John Parkins lives there now. He is quite often sitting on the porch, smashed, drunk, more so than anything else. And nowadays, the innkeeper informs you before you head over there. And yeah.
Should I go back to the inn and get my bottle of whiskey?
If you want to.
Should we get... Yeah, I'll do that. Then let's all go back there. I guess by then we could pick up Princeton.
Yeah, walking out onto the farm, you could pick up everyone else.
And
Yeah.
Amelia, I guess.
First time you said that with content.
That's a little mean.
Yeah, you pick up Princeton gladly, and Amelia, you guess. Come on, it's Princeton.
Blueberry did it.
The blueberry tea. You were like, she's turning British. I can't.
She's turning British.
She asked for tea. How could she? Anyhow.
Smell it on her.
You all eventually arrive at the Parkins house. There's
Princeton,
a man.
do you want to lead this one?
I don't. Well, okay. Does it involve talking to anybody?
Yes.
Maybe I'm inclined. I haven't talked to anybody, without them running and screaming. Yet.
Okay, just hand the guy the whiskey after a while in the conversation.
Okay.
Princeton, you said I haven't talked to somebody without them running and screaming yet.
For an extended amount of time.
As in everyone you talk to goes running and screaming.
Can you really blame him?
Double negatives, baby.
Double negative.
Again, Princeton, this guy's wife died.
Okay.
So, serious time.
Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna approach up to this guy. What am I asking you about?
His
Just
dead
asking-
wife.
Okay. Alright. Okay. Princeton time. Serious mode.
You're doing this
Passion.
on his. You're like standing by the stairs up to his porch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's sitting on his porch, like watching.
You're sitting on your porch?
Yeah.
Oh! Hi. I'm, Princeton Philips. Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta... Hi. I'm Princeton Philips.
He takes a swig out of a bottle of some kind of liquor, and then kind of throws it onto the ground outside of his porch, like tosses it over the railing.
Oh, you see this? You like this
My name's
whiskey?
John Parkins. What? You've whiskey.
Yeah. I see that you you saw my whiskey. You immediately were just impressed and just threw it out.
Well, I finished mine, but I'll take some of yours if that's what
Perfect.
that's what you came here to do, to offer me free whiskey. That's
I guess you could say that.
yeah. What can I do you for?
Yeah. So about that, is your wife?
Mm-hmm.
She has unfortunately kicked the bucket.
His face darkens.
Okay. Would you see? I gave you that whiskey. Probably should have given me that later. Would you mind? What was your wife like? Let's start off on that foot.
She was beautiful, and too young for this to have happened. What?
Okay.
Why are you here asking about my wife?
I am.
Also, what are your friends doing, standing on my lawn?
Oh,
over there.
them. You can ignore them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we need some details about how your wife died. We're kind of doing this investigation.
If you heard about my wife, you must have heard that she was torn apart by a beast.
Torn apart by a beast. As I write into my notes. Huh. Was that, I'm guessing that wasn't very pleasant to hear about. I mean, it probably definitely wasn't pleasant for her. Was she, like, the first one? Was she doing anything suspicious?
Listen, I don't. I wasn't here when it happened, but
I mean, obviously.
a neighbor told me I was coming home from the Laughing Horse, and a neighbor told me that Lawrence Vane was here that night.
Lawrence Vane. Do you know anything about Lawrence Vane? Is he a friend?
Yeah,
of
he's the
yours?
son of that damned noble. The damned family.
Oh. I'm assuming
The
he
heir
lives
to a whole castle. Ooh.
up that mansion. Yeah. You know, if you go up to the top of that castle, can you, like, touch the sky, sun? Just thinking. Do you know if we can get the contact with this, Larry Vane?
Why don't you go knock on the front door and see if they let you in?
Is that actually possible? Will they actually allow us in? So I feel like you're being sarcastic over there.
I don't believe so. I don't believe they'll just let anyone in, though you'll probably get turned away by one of their servants.
Yeah. Okay. Cannot go. Okay. So how do you suppose?
Tumwell already talked to Lawrence Vane anyhow. He said he was innocent.
That's what you think.
I don't think so. Tumwell does. Terrible.
I have a feeling that Tumwell may be kind of a crooked cop, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't think he's crooked. I just think he's dumb.
Ooh. Yeah. That I agree with that. Tumwell ain't that sharpest tool in the shed.
You don't seem to be that sharp either, my friend, but...
Hurtful?
Sir, what other questions do you have? Can I have this whiskey? You've come here,
You know what, since you're being so rude, I'm gonna ask for that back.
Okay, he stands up. He says, you want it back, really?
I mean, unless you promise to be nice to me, because you're being kind of rude over here.
You come onto my property, ask questions about my dead wife.
Can I try to grab it mid-sentence?
Sure, give me a it would be a dex check, I think. He's quite drunk,
Okay.
so if you do get it, he's not going to be able to wrestle it from you.
Okay.
But
21 out of 75.
that's a hard.
Yeah.
I also rolled a hard success, and he's defending. So, he like kind of stumbles backwards to avoid you taking it from him. You want this, really? And he throws it against the wall behind you, and it shatters. Now get off of my property before I have to go get my shotgun.
You don't have to be such a dick about it. You don't... Bye.
My
Bye.
name isn't Richard. Please leave. Don't call me Richard.
Okay. Alright, fine. I'm getting off your property, but I will sue you. I will sue you for every single penny that you've got.
For what? You think they're going to listen to an American?
I happen to be a Princeton professor, well, formally, but no, that's not important. But I happen to be very important. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I will see you in court then. Get off of my property. I will get my shotgun.
I'm getting up. Okay. All right. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Well,
I see that went productive.
Okay. We learned that his name was John Parkins.
I didn't think that was learned.
We
It may
know...
that may. Oh no, you learned that from the innkeep actually. So yeah, no, it was not learned.
Yeah, that did not seem to go well.
We know that his wife was very beautiful.
I think you mean was.
Was. Yeah. You know, she was torn apart, so, you know. Unless you put her together, maybe she might be beautiful.
What if you're a necrophiliac?
I like this guy.
Let's go back to the inn and discuss this in private, I guess.
You go back to the inn.
Very eventful journey back.
So, we need to try to talk to...
Lawrence Fane.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does he let anyone in his castle?
No. See, I also learned that from that encounter. He's the son of a noble. Tumwell thinks he's innocent. I think that Tumwell is kind of crooked, but, you know, Parkins over here thinks that he's kind of dumb. Kind of below room temperature, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it appears the innkeeper also agrees with that statement.
I think everyone agrees with that statement.
He's not the brightest of the bunch.
People are stupid. Britain, get a better education system. Am I right?
No comment.
Okay.
But my idea is that maybe some sophisticated people in our party could go to the castle and speak with Lord Vane.
Perhaps Mr. Godfrey over here.
Yeah, Godfrey and Amelia. Maybe one of us can tag along too, as like company.
I can.
No.
You're rejecting an opportunity to go and speak with some royalty.
No, as in Princeton can't come with us.
Well, obviously.
Okay.
Sounds like
Okay, I'll
Amelia
take
and
that.
Harold are having a rich people's trip.
Alrighty.
Arthur, do you want to tag
something-
along, or do you want me to?
Well, I figured it would be something for the wealthier individuals.
Yeah, way to call us out like that.
I'm including myself in this group.
You're rich?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm including myself in the lesser of the individuals, along with you guys.
Oh.
Okay. We'll hang out at the inn. I'll go.
Now, I'm gonna go drink some whiskey. If anyone wants to join me, they're welcome to.
Okay, I guess we can't get that very expensive bottle.
Wasting perfectly good whiskey.
I'm sorry, that guy just wanted... That guy. What a handful he was.
Wait, it's
Sure, you
Princeton.
had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Wait, what? What did he say, Sam? They could go through a tunnel.
You could maybe read that Egyptian scroll that we got a while ago. I know you've already read it, Arthur.
There was an
Yeah.
Egyptian scroll? This is the perfect time for me to, do something useful. I'm gonna go
Can I
get
hand him my copy of the Egyptian scroll?
copy. I want the original.
You don't know it's the copy. I made a copy of it, essentially. Yeah,
He-
it's kind. Yeah, so essentially, I hand you what you think is the real scroll. It's the
Okay.
exact same, but it's a copy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm free to do whatever I want in this. Okay. Let's read some ancient Egyptian. Shall we? This is something that you get with a Princeton education. 51, and I have 12.
He just dabbles in ancient Egyptian. I will say you see mention of Etep. There's some kind of servant of Etep, but that's all you can really gather from it. Etep, you would know from having studied enough Egyptian to have a 12 in hieroglyphics. He's like he's like a god. He was the king of the gods, and then I believe this is me going from memory a little bit. He was overtaken by I want to say Horus, and from that point on, he vowed to basically like swallow the sun, and
My enemy.
plunge the world into an age of darkness.
Don't like this guy already.
And this is whatever this says. It's something to do with a servant of that god.
Okay. And I
You
really
can't, you can't really gather much more than that with a fail.
Well, guys, looking at this, it's looking like a tap and his servant, they were gods, and they wanted to swallow the sun and plunge the world into darkness. Something I don't want. Hope that was useful.
Glad to see that you're anti-swallowing the sun.
Yeah.
Really a hard position in today's political climate.
1920s, what a divisive time we're in. Did you vote for Coolidge? I voted for Coolidge.
Who is the other guy?
There's
Princeton.
another guy. I just vote Republican.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's an insane man.
So, after that, Amelia and Godfrey head out to walk to the castle, which is to the north. If you ask the innkeep of town, yeah, you guys want to talk about anything over? You just walk in there, making small talk.
What's our plan, Godfrey?
I
I
guess, I mean,
am not familiar with this specific gathering.
Me either.
Okay.
I would
So-
assume so.
So do you need any more information that I know Princeton knows that he could have given you?
Probably.
Okay. So you're going to the. I didn't actually say this, but it's called Plum Castle. Is the castle owned by the Vanes? Lawrence Vane was seen near the Parkins house the night that the woman was murdered over there. So, what is his name? Tumley? I forget his name, but I think it's Tumley.
well.
Tumwell, yes. Tumwell cleared Lawrence's name. He said he talked to him, that he wasn't guilty, and that the Parkins does not believe that is the case. He believes Lawrence is guilty in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And you guys are trying to get you guys are trying to get some information about what's going on, why he was there, maybe, perhaps.
Mrs. Greenwald,
Yes.
I don't know if you are aware about this just yet, but I have to tell you, I don't think I'm the smoothest operator when it comes to persuading people. I am more of a blunt force person.
Hmm.
This kind of operation is extremely outside of my skill set when I can no longer bribe people.
I can still bribe people, but I don't know if that's gonna get us the information.
Well, yeah, I could get to a bank before this.
But also, we're walking into people of similar status.
That's
to
what I
us.
mean.
And they're not gonna care
Yeah,
how much money we have. If they got a secret, they're gonna keep it. We have to be friends with them. Gotta befriend these people.
that is not my strong suit, Mrs. Greenwald. This is gonna be a bit of a shit show, as they say in America.
Yes. You know, Godfrey, I also...
Sometimes they say that in Peru as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes. Godfrey, I have to tell you something. You're not allowed to tell anyone.
Please.
I found out that I was pregnant right before we left.
Didn't you already tell us all that already?
No, she
Did we
did not.
retcon that?
No, I'm
No, we
telling you,
retconned
like,
that.
make sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Justin's recap made everyone think that she said,
Yeah.
but she
Yep.
has not said yet.
Nope.
Gotcha.
So for
Gotcha.
this part, I can't really party too hard right now.
Well, congratulations. That does complicate the plan a little bit. So what we're working on here is that we have one person who has to be careful with what they consume and potentially getting into fights. And me, who is pushing on 60 and can't really do anything
We're
physical.
quite a team.
Yeah. I'm good with a gun. Socializing to find out information. This is either going to require a lot of careful planning, or we're going to have to come up with a better idea.
Dumb luck would also be an order.
We're pretty good at dumb luck. We get pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm. So what are the chances that if this goes south, we end up in a fight?
I want to say pretty low, because I'm thinking these are pretty wealthy people. If we approach them trying to be friends, like maybe be like you're trying to have more contacts out here, like people to stay with, because maybe you want to start hunting over here. Could maybe pull something like that.
Mayhaps, maybe.
And then you can maybe bring up your concerns of like you like to hunt at night, and the stuff in the news had made you concerned.
That is a bold lie, and I will do my best with that. I don't have as much social capital as actual capital. I think we're going to have to run that plan, because I can't think of a better alternative.
Yeah.
Are we approaching Plum Castle?
I think so.
Okay.
We could also fake that I'm like your wife, and I'm also I can take over and say that I'm concerned for your safety. I can take over the lying.
I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I do not think so. No, we're not doing that one.
Okay.
That's a no-go.
Can that be Plan B?
That could be, that's the backup. Reluctant plan B.
Okay, deal.
What is Plan A?
She's a
We wanna
guest. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to be friends. We're trying to get rich people friends.
Okay. So the plan is you're wealthy people trying to make wealthy friends in
As wealthy people do.
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, these are kind of the booties here.
And then if that fails, you're gonna pretend that was a front and really like you guys are husband and wife and you need help in some way.
We'll change it to I'm like his friend. I was like, I want to say lifelong friend, but this man is like a bit older than I am.
Fair bit older than you
I-
are. A fair bit.
It's my half lifetime friend. It'd be weird if
Family
we were friends
friend.
too. Yeah.
Okay. As you approach the gates, somebody give me a luck check. I don't really mind who.
Both, or we got to decide between the two of us?
I was gonna say decide, but
I did it, and I think you'd want my vote. So
I did not, so I guess we're gonna run with Mrs. Greenwald's luck.
I got a 14 and a 61.
okay. You see as you approach outside of the castle doors, a young, handsome man, about 20 years old, somewhere around there, with long, dark hair. As you're approaching, you see him just talking about something with what appears to be a servant of some kind. He's dressed in that kind of like suit, like he's, there to be a butler, basically. As you approach, you catch his eye. He's got these like shocking, bright green eyes that, like, they almost shine with against like his face with that dark hair. And he shoots a smile. He's got pearly white teeth, beautiful teeth. Oh, hello, visitors from the village. You don't look like you're from around here.
That's because we're not. Hi, my name is Amelia Greenwald.
Lawrence Vane.
And this is my dear friend, Sir Harold Godfrey.
A pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, we were exploring around these parts of town. You know, Derby is quite a quaint town.
I'll say.
And we noticed that you guys are having a party. Do you mind if we join you?
He looks you up and down. What are your credit ratings?
64.
82.
Okay. He looks Harold up and down, and he looks Amelia up and down, and he kind of like, Harold, sir, if you'd come here for 1 second, and he kind of like motions off to the side. Amelia, Miss Greenwald, I don't want to alarm you. I need to ask Harold a question real quick. I promise it's nothing to worry about.
I'll say.
I don't mind. I'll let the men talk.
This is rather weird.
I assure you, it's nothing to be worried about. He kind of walks you off to the basically the other side of the kind of the other side of the doors, not in the building, but just far out of earshot of Amelia if you talk low, and he just goes, "You seem like a trustworthy fellow."
That I do assume that I am.
Can Amelia seems to be on
An American? I know.
an American, yes,
You learn to put up with it.
also on some Americans are trustworthy, but She seems to be on the precipice of trustworthiness, if you get what I mean.
I see.
Can
Yes, she is new money, as they say.
right. Can you vouch for her, do you think?
I can vouch for her because her husband is a upstanding, fine young gentleman. New money he may be, he has refined taste, and it is starting to rub off on Mrs. Greenwald here.
That's incredible. Sounds good. Now I have something to discuss with both of you. Miss Greenwald, and he walks back over, kind of motions at you to follow him, Harold. Yeah, but as this guy's walking back over to talk to you, Harold's back there like. Miss Greenwald, sorry about that. I didn't mean to alarm you. We've all got something to discuss. We were having a bit of a get together tomorrow, which I could talk to Father and see if you could both tag along, but please come inside. I have something that I would like to discuss with the two of you.
Why, thank you. My father.
And if, as you're all walking inside, he kind of looks at the two of you and he goes, "Well, so what are such an upstanding gentleman and an American doing out in Lesser Edale?" I meant I saw your face, Miss Greenwald. I meant nothing. Just that America is very far away. I mean nothing by it.
Say. Well, Mrs. Greenwald's husband has been doing some pressing business matters, and the good friend to the family I decided to show Mrs. Greenwald here a little bit of the motherland.
Countryside. It's beautiful.
A little tour of England.
I just wish it wouldn't rain so much. It's my only gripe with the Queen's Land.
Yeah, I feel like all this rain could make it quite gloomy. I must say, Godfrey's mistakes, his homes have been much more than I could have ever imagined.
Miss
honestly.
Greenwald, you'll make me blush.
I must also say you have quite a lovely home as well. Dare I say, it might rival Godfrey's over here.
Well,
I dare say he's one-upped me with this castle.
I would certainly hope so. My family's owned this land for generations. Now, nowadays we don't get quite the amount of money that we used to every year, but we have enough that my family and my children and their children could probably live comfortably for a long time. Why Lesser Edale though? Not many people come out here.
Why not? That is all I am simply here to say. Why not?
Fair enough. I get it.
I've also, I mean, Godfrey is he's well traveled. It's so hard. I mean, I don't think he's been here either. So this is one of the few places that both of us could visit together.
Experience for the first time. I see. I see. Well, we're here, and he kind of steps off to the side and opens a door into this beautiful drawing room. There's a big table. There's bookshelves that line one wall. They're beautifully sorted. There's an assortment of sizes and shapes and colors, and there's a fireplace that's been kept burning, just waiting for. It feels like this room has has been set up just to like wait for all of you to arrive and enjoy it. The three of you walk in. He kind of motions for you two to sit down in chairs near the fireplace, and he sits in his own. He goes, "Well, you both seem like trustworthy folk, and you're not from here, which I think is an important thing. I'd have something quite personal, and I'm not even sure if I should be doing this right now. Have either of you heard about the attacks that happened? They stopped a few months ago in the town.
I heard some police officer bragging. It's arsaw all day yesterday, all night. Quite annoying how he killed the thing.
Yes, well, he may think that, but I know the beast is alive and well.
Really? Have you seen the thing?
I am familiar with the thing.
Oh.
I've met it. I've talked to it.
Talk to it, you say?
Well, I should say she.
Oh. Does she
It's-
talk back?
Sometimes. It seems that my. It seems that my the beast. Well, it seems I've known for quite some time. The beast is. Well, it's my sister. It seems occasionally, especially in the light of the full moon, but has been known to happen on other nights. She transforms into a hairy beast bigger than me, and she's much shorter than I am.
Wow.
I dare say that's quite the predicament you find yourself in.
Yeah.
Listen, I
Well,
don't
how about these?
I don't know if
attacks-
I don't know if you'll believe me, but she.
I have no
that's
reason
what
not to
happens. That is true. You guys have seen some weird stuff.
I mean, these attacks they've stopped for a couple months now. That's why they believe that your sister is dead. So what have you guys done anything to like stop it? Is there any way to stop it?
We lock her in the dungeon for whole nights. Whenever it seems she's getting sick, she's going to turn. But I don't know if there's any way to. She does get hurt when the constable did shoot her, and she was hurt by that. But
And this just like started to happen to her? Like it wasn't anything that sparked it? Like I don't
I have done a little bit of research on it. My father does not allow me to look into it as much as I would like. All I know is that there was some kind of curse put on my family in the past. Something to do with the firstborn daughter.
I must say, I feel my heart really goes out to you and your family. It sounds like a heartbreaking thing to have to deal with.
Got to say, your story is beyond extraordinary.
Of course. My father wishes I wouldn't tell people, and I have refrained from doing so, but you're not from around here, and seem like some good fellows, so thought I may try and get some kind of advice. I'm a little bit worried that we won't catch it one night when she's turning, or that she'll get out. But I don't know.
So, do you have any proof to back up this story? How's your wife doing after getting shot?
My sister?
Oh, I thought it was your.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
your
not
sister.
married. I wish, but I wish, but alas, I am not. She is currently locked in the dungeon right now. She'll probably turn the next hour or so when the sun sets.
I dare say, if it's not too much of a bother, I'd like to set eyes upon this transformation myself.
Certainly. It's a bit of a weird. Sure.
A bit of a weird story you just told me.
Yes, but I don't know, if you believe it, then you probably don't wish to see it, and if you don't believe it, then why go see it at all?
I've seen several strange circumstances in my life. I'm inclined to believe you, but I also think that seeing the transformation occur may give us some clues as to how to rectify this unfortunate situation.
Okay, well, let's go. On the way, he starts off in a direction. On the way, though, do you have any advice, given what details I have given you? Is there anything you think that I should do?
As of right now, speaking from my prior experience in Africa with the native tribesmen down there, I do think that there's a strong possibility that this curse is non-reversible.
I think
It's been going on for generations. That's a fear that I have.
Yeah. I think right now all we really could do is find more humane ways to keep her tame.
Such as?
I mean, I don't really know what her situation is. She's just
well,
locked in the dungeons?
Yes,
Is she saved?
when she transforms, she tells me that she loses control, that it's like she's in her own body, but someone else is driving. I know that she has superhuman strength beyond what you or I would be capable of. She would break down any wooden door. That's why we had to keep her down there. I don't know if there's any other way to contain her. I don't even know if this is going to contain her forever.
You might be right.
So, he leads you down the stairs. We may have to wait a bit, but there she is, and you see a girl, a young woman, really. She's about 18, 19. Curled up, laying down on a there's kind of a bit of a bed made. She's under a blanket, but she's curled up and shaking. We can just sit here. I'd really prefer not to talk.
Can she
too
talk?
much. Usually in the hours before her transformation, she gets sick and is unable to really communicate.
Well, I guess I'll pull up a chair then.
I'm not too worried about tonight. I'm not sure what happens on the full moon, but she seems more desperate. She howls.
I see. Mrs. Greenwald, will you stay and join us?
Yes, perhaps I will.
What do you
Uh,
make of this entire situation?
I think that it's absolutely dreadful. I wish that there was something that I could really do. Especially, I turn to the other guy, and I'm like,
Mhm.
especially, I'm a world-renowned animal handler, so I have a little bit of an expertise when it comes to handling beasts.
Well,
Many circus animals.
this is a little bit more than a circus animal, miss. I'm afraid.
Of course, no, it's your sister, but
I only meant that there are ways to train this circus animal that I'm sure that you've learned. Any kind of animal that we know. I wouldn't call her a beast as in an animal. She's beast-like. She is gone. She says that she is no longer in control. Something is looking to fulfill its hunger when she transforms.
would you eat any like raw meat to like satisfy that? Like slaughtered cow?
She witnesses some of what happens, some of it she forgets by the morning, but she says what she does remember, eating, none of it fulfills any part of it. After a few more minutes, you do begin to hear something moving. She's shifting more and more. And eventually, you hear that's the wrong sound. Eventually, she gets up and she moves, and you see this large form. You see this large form start to take shape, and there's cracks as she stands up and grows from this small, like, maybe like 5'5" figure. I don't know why there's chanting. Sorry to break character there, guys. But she grows and takes this large form. She runs towards the cell door in front of you and grabs on and rattles it and roars in your face. This large being, her skin has gone completely black and her ears have grown. Her fingers have grown into long pointed tips. She doesn't look like a dog. She's certainly hairy. But you don't know if you would call her a dog. She certainly. She slams into the gate, and then you see her. She almost looks through you, when she catches your eye. And then she kind of grunts and runs in the opposite direction. You witness her tear some rocks down and break through, like, this one point in the wall. She kind of shimmies through it, and she's gone. She's not in the room in front of you anymore.
So, what were you saying about not being worried about tonight, my good man?
Maybe she just saw us. Maybe we did this. We need to go.
I agree with you.
Okay, let's go. And he takes off running.
I am thoroughly spooked. Mrs. Greenwald, I'm gonna go grab my gun.
So you're gonna run down towards the inn.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I am.
So, you take off running towards the inn.
Very slowly, with lots of breaks, because I'm old and fat.
Miss Greenwald, before we leave, do you need a weapon of some kind? I have some nets here. We could stop her.
I'll take some of your. I'll take a net.
Okay, he hands you like a big net.
I have a mace on me. I'm not gonna use my knife.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt your sister. If I don't have to.
Sounds good. I think she took off in this direction. And he takes off running.
I run behind him. Also taking breaks.
She likes to search through the fields before trying to go into town. Sheep tend to fight back a little bit less than men. After a few, after a little bit, you guys have been waiting down at the inn for a while. Arthur, Princeton, Sam, the three of you, Godfrey burst through the door. He is soaking wet. It's been raining outside now for a while.
He's also very sweaty.
He's very wet. He's very sweaty.
And very out of breath.
Just his... Oh gosh, I should have made you guys roll a sanity check. I apologize. I'll make you roll a sanity check for the second time you see it, because I messed up the first time. He is very out of breath.
Godfrey? Hi, Godfrey. Godfrey.
What's up?
Hello?
Sam! Sam!
Right, so,
Sam! Go get my gun. Up the stairs. Go get my gun.
Yes, sir.
do you need a glass of water? You need to...
Where are we going?
Get me water.
Okay.
Get me water.
I get the innkeeper. Get him some water, please.
I'm sitting down now. I'm sitting in a chair somewhere.
The innkeeper brings over like a pint glass just filled with water. What did you see?
What happened?
Okay, here's the short and sweet of it. As I'm loading bullets into my gun. The short and sweet of it. The Lord's sister turns into the beast at certain points, and she has currently escaped confinement, and she's running around looking for food.
We gotta go catch her.
I don't like
We
that.
gotta go shoot her, Sam.
I'm
Okay, Sir Godfrey.
scared.
Well,
Do what you want.
I start sprinting out of there.
Yeah.
What do you want us to do?
I don't know. Do you have a
I
gun?
don't know. No. The guns were
I have a
illegal.
gun.
Alright, then
You have
don't
a
be a
gun.
warm body.
Yeah, I have
I
a
got-
gun.
I have
Alright.
silver daggers. I don't
Mr.
know.
McKenzie, with me. It's time to hunt.
Alrighty, sir.
Innkeeper, do you have any weapons? It's a hunt.
I think I'll be staying
Mr.
inside and locking
Innkeeper,
the
sir.
door.
Can I come with you?
You can. Seems like your friends need some help.
I am a mummy. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, you can go be dead meat.
If I go out in the rain, I don't like you. I really don't like you. But we're gonna have to get along, buddy, because we're gonna be in that room together.
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
Princeton is staying, I guess.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's a role-playing game. You can think of something, I'm sure.
I'll think of something later. I don't want to
Princeton's
like
just a
super-
coward. Too afraid to fight.
Who are you calling a coward, Arthur?
You're not even in the building anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, everyone left except for Princeton, who's talking to the innkeep, I think. I think
Yeah.
everyone left.
Innkeep, are you calling me a coward? I think that was you.
Definitely.
No, I'm not
keeper.
calling you a coward. I'm saying your friends need help. Look, you'll be a few steps behind them if you follow them now. You'll see the fighting ahead of time, and you can just swoop in to make sure everyone's okay when it's over.
Okay. Princeton is not a coward. So, you know what? I'm gonna go out there. Do you have any weapons that I can use or something? Because, I don't want to go out there barehanded. You've got like a...
Here,
Well-
take this pint, this mug on the house. You can use this as a weapon.
Very funny.
I'm not joking. I'm not letting you take one of my stools or anything. I don't have a gun here.
You're a dick. Alright, I'm out.
My
Okay.
name is not Richard. I don't.
Okay. Alright, so
Wanker.
I'm going out.
You wanker.
Also, you wanker.
Bloody wanker.
Okay. Also, because it's raining, I'm gonna take off my wraps because I don't want to get wet in the rain.
You've already walked outside and you're like taking them off.
Yeah, like-
It's like soaked already. Okay, so you're chasing after them. You're a few steps behind.
Okay.
Amelia, you're running through the rain. You eventually
Yep.
see ahead of you. There's this large black body. It's lurched over something. It's eating something. Lawrence looks at you. He motions to his lips, just kind of like shh. And he goes kind of like in a sneaking position.
Yeah, that's slow.
Yes. He does some hand motions, and what you gather from that is that he wants you to sneak up with him on this thing and try and throw the net over together.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so roll stealth.
Oh. That thing I put nothing into? That's cr-
Yeah, that
Welcome to my
Oh.
world.
happened.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a little bit in stealth.
I failed.
TPK
so-
coming up.
He
Let's go.
passed, so but not that well. So that the two of you walk up behind it, and he kind of motions you. He motions you to stop, and then he throws you one half of his net, and you grab on. He's like swinging it like 1, 2, and you take a step before you throw it, and it's been raining a while. It's just like the puddle you step into of mud, and
Well,
this thing like you both kind of freeze. This thing kind of lifts up its head and turns around. You can see its red eyes glowing in the dark.
Okay.
Roll a sanity check because I forgot to make you do that the first time.
cool. Thank you. Pretty sure I failed. Now I fail all the rolls. There we go.
So you failed.
Yeah, I
It was
did.
1d6 of sanity.
Cool. Cool. I lost one.
You lost 1. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so let me see how many rounds before the rest of this hunting party gets here. Okay. Do you wanna act first? Or do you wanna let the monster act first?
I'm gonna let the monster act.
Okay.
Ooh, bold.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay. How many attacks does he get? Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, we
Okay.
can't lose Amelia.
He's gonna try and claw at you, Amelia.
Okay.
You can
Oh no.
dodge if you want, if you would like, or you can.
I'm gonna dodge.
All right.
I'm not dumb.
You're
I'm a little
brave.
squishy, but not dumb. I'm gonna spend two luck to pass.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you before. You don't have to do that because I failed.
Okay.
So, I'm supposed to tell you what I rolled, so that way you know if you have to spend luck. So I failed. So you're
Okay.
fine.
Okay, I'm good.
Now it's gonna try and claw at Lawrence here. A yikes. That's a yikes. Oh, that's oh god. Lawrence might be taking some damage. Oh my god. Okay, I roll. He takes 3 damage.
Oh.
That was a lot of oh my god.
I rolled. Well, I just saw how much. What I'm supposed to be rolling. Yeah.
Like a D12.
So she got the claw on him, and now she's gonna go in for the bite on him because he's off balance. Okay, and then he got out of that one.
Okay.
So
That's all of the attacks.
she claws at you, and you kind of take a step back without slipping, and she claws at him, and he kind of slips in the mud, and she goes in for the bite. And she just barely misses. Go ahead. It's your turn.
I'm gonna mace.
Okay.
I want a stunner. I'm gonna spend 3 luck so I can pass.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll dodge. Don't spend that 3 luck because I rolled an extreme success.
Okay.
Unless you want to spend enough luck to make an extreme success.
That's gonna be a whole fuck ton of luck.
maybe don't. Oh wait, no, because dodge. Yeah, never mind. You'd have to roll a 1 for it to hit. Because dodge is equal or equal or greater levels of success. Okay, Lawrence is gonna try and shoot this thing. That's a hit, I believe.
Lawrence is trying to shoot his sister.
Yeah, she.
Wow. I didn't know
Well,
that.
she
Got no
ducked.
choice.
This thing.
I didn't know that he had a gun.
Yeah, he pulls out a pistol.
I don't have a gun.
Okay,
so
it's
it
this
doesn't matter.
thing's turn.
I don't have anything.
Cool.
Claude Amelia.
Cool.
That is a hard success.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Please don't kill Amelia. No.
Amelia will be okay.
I just passed. I got a 24. My dodge is a 30.
Okay.
So
So you're taking the damage.
I get clawed. Cool.
Oh no, that face.
Oh no.
Amelia, how many hit points do you have?
God.
12? You take 10
no.
damage.
What? I have a major wound now.
You have a major wound. Go ahead and roll me a constitution check to see if you stay conscious.
Oh my god.
Oh no, Amelia's gonna. Alright, I should. You'll be fine, Amelia.
We hope.
I mean, at least I hope so. Oh no.
Did you fail? So Amelia, you get clawed. There's this huge gash across your chest, and you look down. You see blood just spilling out of you in the rain. Just the rain is seeping in and washing this blood out of your chest and onto your clothes. And you pass out, and your face is in the mud. It's gonna try and claw at the other guy now.
Oh, Jack Douglas was here, man.
So that's a pass.
He wouldn't be here though.
And he also passed. So he takes a step back.
Aww.
She's gonna try and bite at him because she doesn't know if you're dead or not. She misses. Okay, so he's gonna try. He's gonna try and net her, and then the hunting party is showing up. He's pulling out the net. He's like, I don't know if I can take this thing down. He's gonna try and. He failed really bad.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, he throws the net and like the wind carries it away. Like,
God.
he throws it up and just the wind like picks it up and just gone. Like he has another net, but the one of them's gone. So this thing before this thing takes its turn, Sam, Arthur. Sorry, Arthur. Yeah, sorry. Yes, Arthur. Harold. It took me forever to remember that Harold was not Howard, so at least I remember. Sam, Arthur, Howard, Harold.
I'm catching up.
Harold, you guys come over. You guys come out of the wood line into this field, and you see a large shape and a smaller shape, and you think you might see somebody on the ground. Maybe. You're not sure.
Oh God.
You're in the distance a little bit here. Rifle will hit at this distance. Pistols might need to wait another round.
Yeah,
My
I have a rifle.
God, look at the size of that thing.
Holy
I wanna
shit,
shoot it.
Okay, so on this turn, you're going to get close enough to be in rifle range. I'm going to say that's also close enough for sanity checks as this thing kind of rears back and looks at these three more people on the three more meals come out of the wood line.
My sanity
happy
is not
meals?
wonderful.
They don't seem very happy.
It's a 1d6 if you fail.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 1d6 if you fail, 0 if you pass.
Ooh,
Probably
another
roll a
one. Let's go.
I failed. So I'm rolling
You
D6.
honestly would have wanted that one for combat instead of sanity check because that would
I
have been
failed.
max damage.
Okay, I
Arthur
lost
failed.
2 sanity. Hold on, sorry.
Well, you're not there yet, Princeton.
Okay.
You lost how many
catching up.
sanity?
2.
1.
Okay, wow, perfect. You guys are failing and still not losing hardly any sanity.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
so yeah, you guys
in.
will be good to attack next round. So you guys are getting closer. Godfrey, you're free to take a shot with that rifle.
Yeah. The 30-06, right? It's a number of attacks.
Yes.
It's like 1/2, and I forget what that means.
Yes. So the way that attacks work in this game is with guns, right? You can shoot faster than once per round.
Mhm.
But if you fire more than once in a round, you get more and more disadvantage as you shoot. So like, I think it's a normal shot, and then your second shot is like a higher level of hardness. So normal success, hard success, extreme success, and then it's like extreme with penalty die, extreme with 2 penalty die, and then impossible for your 6th shot. So you can take 2 shots if you want. You'll need a hard success for the second one.
All right. And then if I want to shoot next turn, do I need a hard success for every shot?
No,
Like,
it's just
for my- okay.
it's just in one round. And I'll remind you again.
shooting twice.
Reloading takes a full round. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm shooting twice. I'm confident, Amelia.
So here's the first one.
25.
That hits.
Yeah, that's
All
like
right.
wait. 25.
If it's not an extreme success, it doesn't really matter.
No.
Just
That's
an
a hard
extra extreme
success.
successes,
And then 31.
which
Both
is
hard successes.
Both hard successes. All right, roll damage for both of those.
Here we go.
Boys.
All right, what's my damage? 11 plus 4. 15.
15. Okay.
That's the
pretty
first
good.
shot.
Wait, that's the first shot?
Yeah, 2d6 plus 4. I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Okay.
No tension. Break the tension.
5 plus 4 is 9, so 15 plus 9 is 24.
Godfrey literally like crests the hill. He takes the first shot. He hits this thing like in the shoulder, and as it's rearing back to like look at these three figures that have come out of the woods, and it like stumbles backwards, and he like loads the chamber again with a new one, takes another shot, it hits it square in the chest, and this thing falls backwards, dead on the ground.
Let's go.
You see it start. Anybody who's close enough, so not Princeton, can see it start morphing into something else. Amelia is passed out, and I'm not going to describe it if just Lawrence can see it, but it is changing somehow.
Shit.
Would it
Hey,
be
somebody with a pistol, get close to it and finish it off.
Slight
Would it be
problem. I don't
enough
think anyone
time
here
for,
has
like,
a pistol.
Lawrence to get the net?
Lawrence
Like,
is... Lawrence, the three of you can't see
How is
exactly
Lawrence?
what's going on. Lawrence has, like, gotten on his knees next to this body that's on the ground. Not
I changed my
Amelia,
mind. I'm walking up.
the other thing.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Yeah, I guess we all walk out.
I'm still running towards you guys.
It's hard to see in the rain, but as you approach, it looks like Lawrence is crying. And
Do I see Amelia?
Amelia.
Amelia is on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
She looks like she's dying.
Sam?
Is this one of the points where we'd use like a first aid or something check?
Yeah, so you can roll
Nice.
first aid or medicine.
See, do I have either?
I'll roll medicine. 'Cause
Yeah, Sam's a doctor. Get on her.
Oh yeah.
Don't fumble, don't fumble, don't fumble.
I got a hard success.
Hard success.
That's
You get Amelia gets a D3 back, and your eyes flutter open. Your face is covered in mud.
Do I roll or
Yeah, you
the
roll.
D6?
I usually do the. I think I usually do the healer or the heal.
Usually roll it, but I don't know if I'm supposed to. But I got a 5 so on the D6, so that means you get 3
Three.
points back.
Oh yay!
I'm gonna whisper very loudly in Sam's ear. Sam, she's pregnant. Make sure her baby's okay.
That's not the highest priority right now, making her she's okay.
Make sure they're both fine. God damn it, Sam.
But I'll change the dose of morphine to accordingly.
Okay, so
Maybe no math.
now that Amelia started to seem okay now. You look over at Lawrence. He is crying. It seems it's hard to tell in the rain, but he's crying. You look down at the beast, and it is morphing and changing and shrinking until it turns back into a 19-year-old girl. Everyone roll me a sanity check.
Again?
Yeah. It's a gross transformation, bubbling and changing, and a hair receding. And
I passed this time.
I also pass.
okay.
Oh, I actually passed. Look at that.
Everyone
Barely.
passed. By the way, the people who haven't seen the transformation get if everyone gets 0 because they passed, but you guys would have each had different failures for having seen her transform into it or not. At this point, another figure crests the ridgeline of the trees. He's running. He's running.
Oh.
It's Princeton Philips.
I thought you were gonna be like,
I'm
it's
here.
the second werewolf.
I'm here. What did I miss?
You missed everything.
What?
I said you missed everything.
What do you mean? Like, everything's the name of the monster here? Or...
Look, Sir Godfrey is an amazing shot. He obliterated
This beast.
Godfrey.
On hearing him say that, I turned my attention away from Amelia. And I'm like, I've been known to be a decent shot back in my day.
Ah,
Are you a hunter, Mr. McKenzie? I get up and I start walking over to him now. Having him on
A
the
little
back.
bit. I do a little bit of hunting.
wait,
Clearly not as much as you, though.
Mr. McKenzie, I'm gonna take you down to Africa one day, me and you. I'll show you
Sounds
some big
wonderful.
game. I'll show you, and I'll teach you a little trick or two about shots. I'll teach you. And then I look at the 19-year-old girl, and I'm like, fuck.
I'm hoping Lord Vane's okay with this.
Who's the Lord?
Yeah. Does he hear me?
The guy's father? Who
Guys,
owns
do
the
you know-
castle?
Amelia's like covered in blood right now. What is up
Sam's
with that?
I don't know. Go help Sam.
I'll talk with my father. I wish this could have been handled a different way.
What could have? What? What could have been handled? What happened? What? Why is there a girl on the ground?
Wait, is the girl dead though?
Is
Yeah,
she dead?
She's dead.
Oh my god, she's. I think she's dead. What? Godfrey, did you kill her? What were you guys doing?
It's a bit of a complicated story.
Where's the monster?
Oh, that's the part. Yeah, miss. She was the monster.
What did she do to you guys?
Did you not remember what I told you before?
Yeah, they're like, he told you that the
At
sister-
the end,
Yeah.
the sister was the monster, and then she was going out to eat. She nearly killed Amelia, so I had to put her down.
Are you
What do you
And
think
then
you
she
were
turned back.
planning to?
She doesn't look like a monster.
Well, obviously not anymore.
She's dead.
Well, yes, it appears so.
Why do you? God, Godfrey, did you murder her?
She was a mad dog.
Now we're okay. We're not okay with murder.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Now murder is bad.
I just like take my lamp and like wave it in front of Princeton's face. Look at the pretty lamp.
Conveniently, murder is
Listen.
now unacceptable.
Listen,
All right, Sonny, do you need some help hauling the body?
No, I'll get it handled. I think that you should all leave. My father is not going to be happy when he hears of what happened to his daughter.
Also, a bit of
Yeah.
advice: don't have a daughter yourself.
I will try not to.
Sorry, it didn't work out, Sonny.
I would
don't have anything to
listen.
do with this.
I would
If
love
your
to.
father asks, you had to put her down. Don't mention my name.
He's got. He'll find out.
Do your best. Have a good night, kid.
Miss Greenwald, I'd,
Yeah.
I'd love to help you with your injury, but I'm afraid you should leave before my father hears of what happened.
Yes, Mrs. Greenwald, let's get you out of this rain.
Okay. I might have some whiskey back. Like the guy saved me whiskey back at the end. You know, we can all celebrate. Take that. Amelia, I think you need like a lot of whiskey to alleviate it because you've been through a lot. Just look at that.
Take the edge off. Take the edge off
I
just a
wanna-
little bit.
Yeah. Just a
I
little
want to
bit.
go home.
You want to go back to America? You're American, right?
Oh my god.
No.
Well, let's call the
You don't know
taxi
that?
company.
I don't think that we should stay here anyway.
Yeah, let's go back to the inn and call the taxi.
A cab.
The cabby.
Taxi.
This taxi pulls up and I'm like all covered in blood. We're like,
Yeah.
we gotta go!
You go back. You call the taxi, the company, and they're like, well, it's kind of late. He usually doesn't work this late, and
Triple what I paid him the first time.
yeah. You tell them basically like, oh, I paid him a lot of money, and he told me that I could call here, and they're like, all right, we'll give him a call, and they eventually call the inn back, and they say, well, he's on his way apparently. And it does take him a little bit to get out there. You guys are able to have some whiskey and such,
Well, except for
Yummy.
Amelia.
some drinks, except for Amelia.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Why?
Princeton doesn't know. Princeton doesn't know. Princeton's the only one who wasn't there to find out when
Wait, does
Godfrey
McKenzie
yelled
know?
it.
Yeah,
I whispered very loudly in the rain.
Yeah, you could have heard
Yeah,
it.
so everyone heard.
I say we leave it up to Arthur. Would you have heard that, or were you like looking somewhere else?
Maybe.
I thought I was supposed to have heard that, but like,
He was whispering. He was whisper yelling it to Sam.
The like fight
I feel like-
afterwards.
I feel like this should
Where
be
then
up
he
to Sir
when
Godfrey whether or
Godfrey
not.
was like, he said that you had to save the both of them. I feel like context clues would kick
Okay,
in.
Godfrey, how
Yeah.
loud were you being? Were you being loud enough?
Could I have heard it?
I
No,
think
not
So-
for Princeton to have
the
heard it.
rest of
Princeton
the
doesn't know.
When I told Sam that she was pregnant, my intention was to be like panicky, not like yelling.
Okay, gotcha.
But definitely when I said save the both of them, I was yelling. So
Okay. So maybe you've got like an inkling, but you don't know exactly what's going on for sure.
Because the both of them could have been like me and the
Yeah.
girl also.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a little idea, but like it's not.
No one's gonna say
certain.
anything.
And nobody is telling Princeton, right? We're not.
So that letter recap just straight up won't make any sense.
Nope. No, eventually. I mean, unless Princeton dies before he finds out, eventually Princeton will find out, and then it'll be like, oh, he sent that letter at some point. He gave that letter at some point to her to convince her to name the baby after him. But for now, Princeton has not written that weird letter yet. Eventually, the cab comes and picks you all up. Quite late. I must say I wasn't expecting a call this late. I figured you'd want to stay the night, coming out all this way. But back to Derby we go, right?
Yeah.
All right. Who's in the trunk?
We're squeezing this time.
Squeezing in.
Squeezing. Somebody's laying across like the top of the legs in the back seat. Okay, yeah, you guys get back to Derby. If you guys want to talk at all about what's happened, be my guest. But after that, we're going to your characters will call it a night, and we'll call it a session.
You guys just fill me in on everything. Sans, Amelia.
Not the pregnant part though.
You
Leave
just can't
that
forget
out.
to.
Do all of us know how like the ritual or whatever went?
No one asked.
Yeah, no one
Yeah,
really
nobody
asked.
asked.
I guess like we catch each other up on what happened.
Yeah.
Ow!
But
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been a better way to solve this. Like,
You may or may
Murder.
not lose some sanity because there may have been a better way to solve this.
Our decisions are our decisions, and they almost got Amelia killed.
Princeton's safe as ever.
No, I'm just saying. We all made it out alive.
yeah, that's a fair point.
Exactly.
I feel like we should have found a way to lift the curse, because this could come back again whenever he has a daughter.
That's gonna
Probably.
be for a little while, but maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got to grieve. He can't even think about having a daughter right now.
That is true.
Yeah. See, okay, since I'm leaving next week, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna rectify those wrongs, and I am gonna head back there. Just to make sure everything's alright.
You all get sent Princeton's head in the mail from the castle.
No, Princeton, I think what you need is some time with a licensed therapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may or may not have really high or decently high psychoanalysis.
I don't think that'll fix them.
Well, there's not that you would use that during time off or like on a day when you guys aren't doing much. The idea right now is that you guys are probably going to go back to London, and then Arthur, you will be doing stuff next week, and he, because he's not here, will go like see a therapist or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Figure out what happened.
Well, does anybody have anything else to say about everything that's been going on, or are you guys like exhausted after that and ready to go to bed?
I haven't ran that much. Nope.
Is
That
there like
murder.
a medic in Derby that I can like spend the night with?
Yeah,
That's better than Sam. Doesn't exist.
Derby's a small city, so there's probably a medical,
Like a small,
more than one
like-
medical practitioner, yeah. Like one or
Alright.
two, few of them.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
I believe it's a
Um,
small city at this time. Now I believe it's a little bit bigger of a city, but anyhow. Okay, so you're gonna spend the night there. Cool. Sounds
Okay.
good.
2 things to say.
Okay.
First thing, I haven't ran that much since I pissed off that Cape Buffalo 30 years ago. And second, this is gonna be a bestseller once I write it. I can tell you right now, there's magic in this story.
Absolutely no doubt in my mind.
Your adventures in London are not done yet, so there might be even more to add to this bestseller.
We might split it up into 2.
You have one book in the series. It's 2-parter. It's not even the last book.
Oh yeah,
It's like one random one in the middle.
we're getting pretty advanced with the timeline here.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, anything else, or are we good for the night?
We're good.
I think we're good.
All right. Sounds good. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I think that was good. I really like when we have tension in these episodes because I think they come out a lot better. Now, the tension ended a lot sooner than I thought it was going to.
I didn't feel any of that tension.
I figured there would be at least one more round where, like, you guys got close and it tried to attack you, but nah, apparently not. I'm going to look up the rules to that gun because I think the 1/2 might mean something else, and I might have been mistaken. Because
Okay.
I believe any gun can shoot more than once per round as long as it like doesn't only hold like 1 or 2 bullets.
Yeah, I mean, I got 2 guns. My 30-06 is 1/2,
Yeah.
and my elephant gun is 1 or 2.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna
there's
look
a
up what those both mean. So,
Right.
because what was it? What was it? 16 damage around maximum feels like a lot.
No, it's 2d6 plus 4.
It's 12 plus
16,
4,
yeah.
which is 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
16 minimum or 16 maximum damage per round with just one shot, and you can choose to shoot a second time. Feels like a lot for a human being. So I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look it up. We'll figure it out by next week. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, listening, joining us on stream if you did. We are here, except for this week, every week, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, to streaming on twitch.tv/notjustanyrpg. Please come check us out if you're watching on one of our other platforms. If you enjoyed, please follow, like, subscribe, rate us, whatever it is on whatever platform. Please follow us on Twitter at NotJustAnyPod. You'll find information on this podcast as well as podcast/stream/whatever, and also our other podcasts, the book one, the one about books. And that's it, right? That's about it.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Peace
Except for
out.
me.
Except for, Princeton will not be joining us. Anyway, see you next week.